best players and contributors to the game. Give another look at Cody Walker in for his third VFL game. He'll start on the bench this afternoon. And it's Reedy up against Lockie Smith as we're underway in round 8 of the VFL. A chance for the Bulldogs to get the clearance. Crofts gets a hand pass up towards half forward. Dolan, hand pass back to Adam Treloar. Kick partially smothers. He sends it up to half forward. Akers has to deal with that. Hand pass to Charleston for the Blues. Away to Camporelli. Hand pass didn't quite get to Reedy, and Carmichael in there for the Bulldogs. Hand pass to Treloar. Kennedy with those goggles turns it over, and Blake Akers takes it back for the Blues. Hand pass to Charleston. We know they love to use it through the corridor. Fogarty with the hand pass away to the dash of Hogg. He gets to 50, goes for goal. Getting back, Gardner spoils, hasn't quite dealt with it yet. Here's a chance for Hudson O'Keefe, gets the hand pass away, and Reinhold from the top of the goal square has put through the opener. Hang on, we're going to work out whether this was touched or not. Well, Reinhold with a few moments of hesitation, 25 years of age. And a behind is registered, so the Blues are able to transition through the middle of the ground, inside forward 50, and some desperate defending on the goal square. Results in the first score being a behind as Cleary looks to bring Footscray back into play. Runs his full measure, then sends it up towards half-back. Louis Young from behind makes the spoil. Harvey Gallagher for the Dogs gets the hand pass away to Jakes. Try and work it around the outer side. Will Darcy gets involved. This is a good transition. And now Billings hard against the boundary line. In front, Dirksen takes the intercepting mark for the Blues, and he has it at left half back. Wade Dirksen, who can play at both ends. Such a shining light for the Blues as he kicks as long as he can in the direction of Moyer. Got hands to... Centre half forward, they're on the overlap here. Crofts gets it, sends it inside 50, a bouncing ball, bumped off it in the end. And a chance for Carlton to try and clear as it's taken by Warburton. He works it into half back, and here's a chance for Taylor Byrne. Into the middle of the ground, trying to take on the game. Hogg does enough just to try and hang on to the mark. And he has it at the back edge of the centre square. The Blues are behind, to Footscray yet to score. Hogg thought about trying to switch. Now we'll swing it back to the old grandstand side, and Blake Akers takes the mark. Such experience in this VFL lineup. To Taylor Byrne, can work it over the top, and Cooper Lord, one will be desperate to try and get more opportunities at AFL level. He sends it up towards half forward. Nice presenting, and Reedy takes the mark. He's at the 50, trying to get it towards the goal square, where Moyer rises and takes the mark. Only about 15 metres out. The tall timber combining, and that's what Carlton fans will hope to see Ashton Moyer able to present and come down with a good mark.
Yeah, you're right, Clinch. It was a nice wheel and roll, wasn't it, from Reedy? Good set of hands. This is something this kid's been able to do right through his junior play.
So the West Bulldogs coach Luke Beveridge is in attendance as Ashton Moyer comes in for the opening goal of the match and sends it straight through. The Blues are 1-1-7 to Footscray, yet to score. And already the imposing Liam Reedy and also Ashton Moyer are able to combine with some tall timber in their forward 50.
Yeah, it was a nice finish there from Moyer. He's always been able to do that left or right foot, but as you said, we saw Luke Beveridge and Brendan Lane and Sammy Power in the stadium here having a bit of a look-see at the boys that they're trying to bring back into their side. We know they've had a lot of injuries, haven't they? But it's a nice start there from Carlton. Their ability to move that footy, they like to bite off a little bit through the corridor, which I thought they did really well last week as well. It's the shortest way home, obviously, and paid dividends for them today.
Chasing 5 in a row at VFL level for the first time since 2017, where they were the Northern Blues under Josh Fraser. Back in the middle of the ground. Good start from Carlton. Smith a tap. Went to Treloar, but he's given away a free kick in the process, and it's going to come back to Liam Reedy. Reedy will drive it long inside 50. They've got some marking power down there, so they want to get it in quick. This time Moyer's got the crumb. Left foot snap from him is wayward. But Ashton Moyer showing his ability to kick goals in numerous different ways. Didn't finish on that occasion, but dangerous in the air and on the deck. Yeah, it's a real attribute of his. He has the ability to go right upstairs or, front and centre right there as we saw. Left, right foot. Very, very clever finisher.
Maple brings Footscray back into play. We'll get the 1-2 from Crofts, and now a chance to try and build across half back. Carmichael His hand pass up towards half-back, and now a little bit of a challenge in the end for Flips Parsons. He cuts back on his left-hand side, is able to get a hand pass away, but the kick is a turnover. Cooper Lord takes the intercepting mark for the Blues. Options are plenty in the middle of the ground. Lockie Fogarty marks. He wants to try and stretch his Footscray defence because he's got Blake Acres on the far wing. Plays on immediately. Eventually gives the hand pass away to Hogg. Looks inside 50. Crofts down low. Good clean pickup for Footscray. Hand pass away to Treloar, to Kennedy, and now to Walker. As the Bulldogs find a way out of defence, and the mark is taken by Will Darcy.
Runs away the City wing. Searching kicked half forward, was beautifully weighted to Crofts. And Jordan Croft, he marks 55 out. Hands it off. Flying shot at goal. Will head towards the pocket off the boot of Billings, and it's going to be marked just inside the line. It's taken in the pocket by Luca Muratore. And he can step around. Hasn't missed one this year. He's kicked 5 straight. Luca Muratore can step around and make it a goal apiece at Princes Park. Muratore steps around and kicks his 6th goal for the season. He's got 6 straight. Carlton 1-2-8. Bulldogs 1 straight goal. We've played 6 minutes in the opening term at Princes Park on ABC Sport.
Well, that'll be a bit concerning, I think, for Damo Trustlove, the Blues coach. They moved that footy with real ease, the Blues, from one end to the other. The Dogs did against the Blues. Their ability there they had 2 players in that forward 50 that were just by themselves, essentially. Then to see that nice mark just right on the goal line, virtually unopposed by Muratore. Nice, classy finish. Players don't seem to have too many troubles now from right in the pocket anymore. It's a thing they practice more than ever. I saw that first hand of the Oz kick this morning, Fitchy.
Starting at a young age.
That's right.
So a goal apiece here at Princes Park. Lockie Smith and Reedy. Reedy goes early, wins down the tap, crofts through traffic and gets away from young Walker. Cuts onto his right-hand side. Best and fairest last year in a premiership year, and Dirksen works his way to the front and takes the mark for the Blues. Off and running as he looks to switch. Now towards the grandstand side where Cottrell's able to gather it. Gets the hand pass away. One way, then the other. In the end from Chesser. Gets around a couple of defenders and kicks up towards Hudson O'Keefe. Presents well, but can't hang on to the mark. Spills out the way of Kennedy. Pinched away by Taylor Byrne. He tries to fend off Kennedy. Get away from me. He breaks the tackle. Looks up towards half forward, and that's a nice kick from Moyer. Sliding in, takes the mark. The Blues don't lose any transition inside forward 50. They're caught behind and spoiling. Here's Fogarty. Curls towards goal. Perfect finish from the small forward. Cuts it through for a goal. And Lockie Fogarty kicks truly for the Blues. So they're 2-2-14 to Footscray 1 straight 6. Just able to transition from the wing inside forward 50. Fogarty did what small forwards do.
Yeah, well, that was all set up by a young Byrne, wasn't it, out here on the wing? His ability to take on that tackle, I think it was Kennedy coming roaring in, trying to make that big tackle. He's able to slip and then went on to Moyer, who wheeled and went a lot quicker than what I thought he probably should have, and kicked it almost to the advantage of the Footscray player. But he was a bit lax there, the Footscray player. I think it was Carmichael potentially coming forward and had it spoiled. It was a great defensive spoil from the Carlton forward. And then Fogarty, just that ability, as all small forwards do, front and centre, that ability to finish, perfect.
Play a very attacking, free-flowing style of football in the VFL to the Blues. All about having different game modes. They like to attack and then work on switching when the momentum is against them. Here's Cooper Craig Peters out of the middle and hits a dart, a bullet to Luca Muratore. You can go back and have an opportunity here to kick his 2nd. Cooper Craig Peters, one of the elite players of the VFL, Lids, and we saw why there.
Yeah, if you're drawing it up, Jace, that's exactly how you want to come out of the centre bounce. That was surgeon-like, wasn't it? Beautiful kick, but great set of hands as well.
So Luca Muratore, who is an AFL talent, just needs some continuity in his training and in his body. He's been at Airport West since the under-10s. And we've already talked about his goal kicking. He does not miss. He's kicked 7 straight now for the year. 22 goals, 8 in his VFL career for Luca Muratore. Fascinating prospect, Lids. At 184, he's got a lot of pace, a lot of power. He's got some real X-factor. He can do some things that other players can't. And at the age of 23, again, he's one of those guys that AFL recruiters will look at and go, well, there's something there to work with.
Well, exactly right, Jason. That's where, with the mid-season draft coming up, it's how can you put your best foot forward, and that ability there to get separation off his opponent, but a clean set of hands, and then finishing your work. Already been able to show us with a snap around the body, but now that beautiful set shot. But The concerning thing, I think, for the Blues here in this sense is how easily that came out of the centre bounce. That was zero pressure and a bit like a training drill.
So all of a sudden a goal apiece in the arm wrestle so far taking place. Back in the middle of the ground, Croft wins down the tap. It's taken away by Cooper Craig-Peters, and another clearance for Footscray. Kicks a high ball inside 50, Dirkson's in front. This time he denies Muratore another effort in the air. Looks to switch into the back pocket where Louis Young takes the mark for the Blues. Besides, he has to kick laterally. Charleston has the mark. Billy Wilson having gone up to the AFL system, he'll be trying to provide some run and dash off half-back. And here's Cody Walker, the son of a gun, in his third VFL match for the Blues. Back inside defensive 50 to Young. Switching it to Dirkson. Now he can work it into the pocket for Boyd, or he's looking more laterally than that. Blake Acres is running hard as he does on that wing. Presents and marks at right half-back. It's been good patience for the Blues as they look to work it up the ground. Vickery marks, gets the hand pass away. No. He got the ball not bouncing back to him. Thankfully, that's not a lasso free kick, and it will be a throw-in. Gemma Bastiati on the boundary.
Yeah, team, you might have noticed that Luke Kennedy out there is wearing goggles, number 35 for Footscray. He had a partial tear in his retina a couple of weeks ago, so wears them protectively, as we've seen Mason Cox do. So just an interesting one to keep an eye on.
Thanks, Jim. He's missed the last 4 weeks. Partial tear in his right retina. The kick from Reedy goes inside 50. Turns the defence around. Here's the dangerous Boone up against Cleary. Well done by Luke Cleary. Strong in the body. Kept his feet, won the football, and then clears it to half-back and finds Jack Billings. Billings, the former Saint and D at AFL level, goes short to the skipper, Orgill. He goes to Carmichael. He's away. Has a bounce. Kick goes inside 50. Croft will get back against Duffy. It'll spill to the front. Dogs have got numbers. Here's Muratore. Good hands again. Off to the aforementioned Kennedy. Lovely finish from Luke Kennedy. And the Dogs hit the front. They're 3 straight goals. Carlton 2-2-14. We played 12 minutes in the opening term at Princes Park on ABC Sport. Wonderful transition. Muratore involved again.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, Jace. He's shown us it all at the moment, hasn't he? A couple of marks on the lead, but then ability then at ground level to be clean and just flick it up to a running Kennedy. I can't imagine what it's like playing with the Horace Grant goggles on, Clinchy. I'm sure that's a little bit off-putting, but he would have trained with them all week, you know, to get himself right and ready for that. But yeah, that was a classy finish by Kennedy, the former Sandringham Dragon. He's been able to knock that through on his left. They've started well. Exciting game, though. A lot of goals at the moment. It
is 12-11, the inside 50s. And Luke Kennedy, one of 12 of Footscray's premiership players from last season, are out there this afternoon. Footscray for the first time take the lead, 12.5 minutes in the VFL match of the day on ABC Sport. Back in the middle. Tap is one down by Hudson O'Cleave, but it's Croft who gets the clearance. Kicks a high ball inside 50. Dirkson's underneath it. And Muratore tried to present, but gave away a free kick for a hole. Will go the way of the Blues swingman. He has it with Footscray holding on to a 4-point lead. Chips it over the top to Cody Walker, and he wants to take the game on. He runs out of defensive 50, sends it high and long up towards half forward, asking for someone to present. Vickery was in the pack, can't take the mark. Valpy into traffic, Walker's hand pass, Carmichael's problem as he's tackled and brought down. Hudson O'Keefe showing his versatility to lay a tackle as the big man locks the ball up at centre half forward for the Blues.
Right on 50 for Carlton. O'Keefe, nice tap down at Lord, but he won't be able to get through Treloar. 2 different styles of movement at the moment. The Blues plus 11 for kicks. Dogs plus 10 for handballs. Campriali's handball taken by Craig Peters. He's dragged down. Umpire calls for it. Ball up on the front edge of the square for the Blues. They lead. They trail by 4 points. 14 minutes gone in the opening term. Walker tried to get through. Craig Peters, there's a hold. It's coming back to Jordan Croft. Croft will kick it to the wing. Making space there was Connor Smith. He goes down the line, beautifully read by Logan Crowd. He cuts it off before it can reach Sterling Phipps-Parsons. He delivers it to Dirkson at defensive 50. Blues will look to switch. Here's Lewis Young. Next link in the chain is Vickery. And they go all the way around the horn to Duffy. He's to the wing. Barter, who was a laid in. And he steps out of bounds in the process. So a throw-in on the City side of the ground. It's the Dogs by 4 points. Beautiful Saturday in Melbourne. Perfect conditions for mid-May. O'Keefe and Croft will go again. Walker hunts it on the deck. Just manages to get the hands free. Ball will sit up for Lord. Duffy left it behind. Craig Peters was clean, did it beautifully. Billings, Carmichael. In fact, it was 76, Tom McGuane. You can see disappearing right of screen. The son of Mick McGuane making his debut for the Bulldogs this afternoon. As we have a look at the live ladder, you can see the importance of today's game. Carlton could win, they jump right back up to second spot. Same for the Dogs. This game so critical in a very packed VFL ladder.
Here's a chance for Walker trying to get it away. Holt, nice little sidestep back to Walker. Some hand pass to try and clear the congestion. Louis Young gets a hand pass away to Camporelli. They have worked this well. And now the kick from Vickery up towards half forward. Warburton just had to try and bring the ball down. He did well enough, and Byrne is after it. He gathers, cutting away the small forward, almost lost his footing, gets a hand pass away, and racing back. Here's a chance for Valby. One way, then the other. As they decide to try and switch it back, it's now Walker's issue. He's tackled and locked up by Warburton.
It was really well done, wasn't it? He was sort of out of position a fair bit there, Clinchy, and ability just to lock it in, give Carlton a chance to set up.
Well, I said no prior opportunity. It's thrown up. Hudson O'Keefe got there late, taps it down. Cleary hard against the boundary line. Hand pass to young McGuane. Following in his father's footsteps, of course. This is up towards half back. Still unable to clear as Will Darcy tries to get a hand pass away. Here's Kennedy and now Treloar trying to use his pace across half back. Chips a beautiful kick. And it's marked by Muratori, who has been involved. In fact, that's Phillips Parsons, who now gets the hand pass away. Sends it up towards half forward. The mark is taken Ramshaw and right half forward. A tangle of bodies with Boyd.
Professionally held him up there, Clinchy, didn't he?
Probably did well in the end, not to give away a 50 and allow some of the defence to get back to try and help. Ramshaw now looks inside a full congested forward 50 and getting back. Excellent mark taken by Prout. He has it in the left back pocket for the Blues.
Kick needed to be precise to Lord, and it was. The freshly shaven Cooper Lord. Lost the flowing mullet. Been a bit of that Carlton in recent weeks. Walker flips a handball over the top, and here's Barter around the outer side. Calls for some movement towards him, and then honours Reinhold, who takes the grab. Thought about giving it back to Barter, who kept on running. Walker's there as well. Instead, he'll go short, and that's a good hit up from Ollie Warburton, who marks just inside 50. Brett, you know this family well.
I do, yeah. He's one of my young lads that I've looked after in the management game. Still, you know, cutting his teeth and trying to apply his trade to get his opportunity at an AFL level, but played against his father, Brett, and his grandfather played with my dad too, so in Peter. So, yeah, know the family reasonably well.
Fourth generation Carlton man, Keith Warburton, a great Carlton player, then Pete, then Brett, and now Ollie. He launches right to the goal square, and Ryan Gardner gets up and kills it. So Carlton 2-3-15. Bulldogs 3 straight goals. It's a 3-point lead to the Dogs, who played 18 minutes in the opening term. This is your VFL match of the day on ABC Sport.
Cleary looks to bring Footscray back into play. Finds Billy Cross, who might give it back to Cleary as they try and get their overlap run going. Drives a long kick up towards Will Darcy. The two Blues in the end fly in the air. Charleston and also Louis Young to bring it down. Darcy gets a hand pass away to Billings into the middle of the ground. Chance for Craig Peters to do what he does best. Find an avenue up towards half forward. And Phillips Parsons marks and sends it into the pocket. Up one for Smith underneath, and it's decisively scored out of play for a boundary throw-in. High fives for Prout as he came in to try and support the defenders. And a boundary thrown in the left forward pocket.
So the Dogs looking good early. They lead by 3 points. Stronger lineup in than they've had in the last couple of weeks. The reigning champs as they look to keep in touch with the leading pack. Here's Crofts, always dangerous, off to Craig Peters. Can say the same thing about Cooper. He snaps goalward. And that's a beautifully worked goal. Cooper Craig Peters, who's just kept toiling away in the VFL for years. He's 24 years of age. Trying to break through to this next level. You think of guys like Sean Manor. Didn't get picked up till he was 26 years of age. Cooper Craig Peters Lids has just kept at it. He's played 72 games now. He's been a Team of the Year player. He's been a premiership player. He's been a best and fairest. He's done just about everything he can possibly do to kick the door down.
Yeah, and that's it. And you've got to admire those guys that continue to toil away to try and get that opportunity. He's certainly done everything in his power to try and put himself up there. It's just a matter of the recruiters now seeing that ability that he has got, whether that applies at the highest level. But that was a classy finish, wasn't it? Broke the tackle and the ability just to snap there, truly.
And that is the next phase in his game. They've moved him forward a little bit more so he can show that versatility, more strings to his bow than just being a midfielder. Lovely finish.
All of a sudden, Footscray with the last 3 goals in the match after the Blues led early. Free kick from the non-officiating umpire. It's going the way of Carlton, and Cody Walker takes it. Out past to Camporelli. Sends Carlton inside 50. Not a great kick in the end for the forwards. As here's a chance at ground level. Reinhold gathers onto it, shows good pace, but snaps across goal and misses to the near side. Minor score for the Blues. So an 8-point margin, Footscray's way as we tick past time on in the opening quarter.
Quick kick in. Comes from Jakes. The target was Smith. Here's Akers, paddles to himself, runs to 50, tugs the kick towards the pocket. It's a 2-on-1. Warburton, what a great mark. Strong grab from Ollie Warburton.
Great hands.
Wonderful grab from him. The youngster from Shepparton Swans. Grew up in Shep. Couple of games at Collingwood in 2024. 6 games with the Blues last year, and what a grab, Brett.
It was impressive. He just missed his opportunity just before with that little snap, but great set of hands here. Good chance to make amends.
Warburton steps up and finishes his work. Wonderful mark and a badly needed goal, really, for the Blues. It was all Dogs early. They've got it back to within 2 points. Footscray had the better of the running in the first 20-odd minutes. It's the Dogs 4 straight 24. Carlton 3-4 22. We've played 21 and a half minutes in the opening term. That was one heck of a goal, mark and goal.
Yeah, it certainly was. A kid who did everything right in his draft year, essentially put great numbers up and represented Vic Country, did everything he could to get himself drafted. Just missed out, toiled away last year for the Blues, and he's come back here for his second season to give himself another chance.
So he spent a fair bit of his career as sort of a halfback wing type, hasn't he? Is he now being sort of repurposed forward for the Blues at the moment?
Well, that's what it looks like here today. But, I mean, it's probably horses for courses as to where everyone else fits in the mix. But, yeah, certainly like seeing that.
He's listed at 185 centimetres and a good mark and goal there. Here's Cody Walker, gets the clearance once more for the Blues. Bounces the ball up towards half forward. Cleary runs onto it, tackled immediately, got the hand pass away. Blake Acres trying to bust his way through a Gallagher tackle. Ball still live. Kennedy gets it for Footscray. Hand pass to Valpede. And now to Croft. Great composure as he chips it out to McGuan. Get the hand pass around the back to Walker. Tries to send it out to the wing where Smith is running hard. Those little legs pumping and he's able to take the mark. Wants to come inboard to Treloar. Chopped off. Taken by Prout. The Blues from half back quickly work it up the ground. And the mark is taken at half forward. Here's the chance to try and build. Long kick in the end from Reinhold into the pocket. Where are the Flyers here? At ground level now. Warburton tries to race after it, but Footscray have the numbers. McGuan gets the hand pass out. Jakes can work his way out.
Kick too much on it for Dolan. It's picked off by Harry Charlson. He's got it 75 from goal for the Blues. Another entry coming in here for Carlton. Inside 50s, 13-10 in favour of the Blues. That is a bold switch kick, but it is a 2-on-1. Akers can try to tidy it up. Gives off a handball. It wasn't ideal. It was at the feet of Prout. There's a hold. It's coming back to the Blues and they'll get out of jail. It's going to Logan Prout. So the Dogs well set in defence. Every player effectively forward of him. So Prout will set it up. Needs a fly to go at it. Gardner came over the top with the fist. Jakes front and centre. Feeds it back to Gardner. Now to Cleary. Looking for an exit and he's coughed it up. Fogarty just slipped across and took the grab. 20 out directly in front.
Yeah, they look like they'd worked that out reasonably well, the Dogs, but Cleary, unfortunately, just tried to bite off a little bit too much, control the footy. Very hard to find those little pinpoint ones and so much congestion inside your defensive 50. Sometimes you just have to take your medicine and dump that one down the line and then get a stoppage and start again. But I admire him having a crack at it, but sometimes it can come back to bite you.
Chance for Lockie Fogarty to kick his second of the opening term and give Carlton the lead once again. Stabs at it. Didn't like it off the boot. And he's missed to the right-hand side. And these are the opportunities you've got to take when you're trying to push back into the senior team. Fogarty misses, 3-5-23. Footscray 4 straight goals, 24 and a half gone in the opening term on ABC Sport.
Jakes quickly brings Footscray back into play. Valpede takes the mark. He's got Kennedy free at half forward. Half back, I should say. Takes the mark for the Bulldogs. Back to Valpede. Cooper Craig Peters, and now gives it back to Valpede. So a third involvement in this passage of play. Kick a little loose for Lockie Smith, but he gathers it cleanly. Hand pass to Dolan from end to end. Kicks towards the goal square. Croft caught behind, had to spoil it down. Brown's hand pass almost pinched, still alive. Croft got the hand pass away. Dribbling kick from Billings, can't get there. And Charleston for the Blues kicks out to Akers. Nice clean pickup as he's under the pump here. His kick fails to clear the congestion. Dolan's back onto it. Almost knocked away by Cottrell. Now it's his problem to try and deal with. He's tackled by two Bulldogs and brought down in the left forward pocket for the Blues. 1 point lead, Footscray's way.
Sorry, Clinchy. High-intensity game, Brett Deletio.
It certainly is. It's good to watch at the moment. High scoring and plenty of pressure on the footy.
Two really good quality VFL teams. The Blues much improved this year, and as we know, the Dogs, the reigning champs. Good chance for Carlton to test themselves against a team of this quality who've got some very useful players back. Ben Campriali couldn't control it. Ball's fed through. Tackle comes from Prout on Billings. Reedy fired a handball to Chesser. Now to Akers, and the Blues can get out. Kick to the wing. Moy looks for front spot against Gardner. It'll get over the back. Jakes will be first to get back there. Reinhold looks to corral him, so he'll have to go boundary side to Cleary. And they've got some numbers. They can work it out. Gardner, Jakes, now Carmichael. Chain of handballs. Craig Peters, Gallagher. Lovely step on Boyd. Created some space for himself. We'll kick it inside 50. It's a 2-on-1 in favour of the Blues. Duffy got a hand on it. Young's handball goes back to Duffy. The Irishman looks to cut across. Try and find some space. It's dangerous. Holt needs to stand up. He was strong in the body. Needs some support. Goes to the voice. And the voice was Sammartino.
Sammartino looks up towards half back. And kick is just a little wide and clear. He's able to pick it up. Valpede slipped over though. Opens the possibility for Reinhold. He can't get a clean hand pass away. Carlton do have the numbers though. Fogarty searching hand pass for Camparelli. Can he keep his footing? Because he's got Blake Akers all on his own. He marks just inside 50. Has a couple of options in the end. It's Steelers' choice. He pokes it over the top, and Caliburn takes the mark. He's 10 metres closer to goal.
Bit of a breakdown there, wasn't there? Yeah, see Blake Akers in so much space there on their forward 50. Not sure the turnover kills you when you've got the ball in your hand just about and you drop it. Their inability to be able to hold on to that ball went just end to end so quickly.
Blake Akers up to 10 disposals, letting possession get her on the ground, just running those wings so hard. And Lance, you and I saw Taylor Byrne have a shot to try and draw level as he comes in here, and this time makes it count for the Blues. Inside of the left goalpost, and he's able to put Carlton back in front. The last two goals of the match, and the Blues all of a sudden take the advantage ahead of quarter time. 4-5-29 to Footscray, 4 straight 24.
It was a similar sort of shot, wasn't it? About the same sort of range, maybe on the other side of the ground, but he's obviously gone to work on that. He knocked that one through really comfortably. He's for a first-year player, he looks really comfortable playing up against the men at the moment. He's had his opportunity to cut his teeth in the senior team a couple of times. So I think he's a really handy little footballer who gets to the right spots and able to finish his work. If you're kicking 2-3 goals a game as a small forward, you're more than doing your job. Best and fairest for the GWV Rebels last year and was in the team of the year at the Talent League. Taylor Byrne, taken at pick 45. Could turn out to be a shrewd pick for the Blues, who lead by 5 points in the shadows of quarter time. And another opportunity. Reedy out of the middle. Launches it long. 2-on-2 in the air. O'Keefe went up. Clear at ground level is confronted and wrestled to the ground by Reinhold and Moyer. So a late chance here for the Blues. It's in the left forward pocket. 25 out from their goal. Can they manufacture a late shot? Reedy and Smith. Good tap from Reedy, but no one there for the Blues. Gardner, Smith, through hands. It was like Reedy was hitting it to the dangerous spot, Lids, but there was no Crummer goal side. Yeah, they weren't quite on the same page, were they? But that's okay. We're, right now it's just life and death for Footscray. You cannot afford to give up a goal here. Dogs' defence will need to be tidy. Reedy and Smith link up again. Again, it goes to a dangerous spot in the goal square. O'Keefe's just got to throw a boot at it, which he can't. And it trickles through for a minor score. So that's two really dangerous taps from Reedy. The Blues are unable to capitalise. They lead by one straight kick, 4-6 to 4 straight. 29 goal on opening term. Jakes quickly brings Footscray back into play. Carmichael marks in the back pocket. Trying to transition up towards Gallagher, who got underneath the footy. He had space, can't mark. Route races after it. He's tackled and brought down by Ramshaw, and the umpire will ball it in.
So Blues are the last 2 goals of the match. Have had a couple of lead changes throughout this first quarter. Pretty entertaining game as Carlton searching for a 5th consecutive win. Well, Footscray, on the other hand, they've had sort of 3 byes if you include the gather round breaks for the VFL sides. After a 10-point loss to Southport a couple of weeks ago, Gallagher breaks from the stoppage. This is what he can do. Kicks on his left boot up towards Croft. Can't take the mark. It clears to the back and away to the races. Here's Phillips Parsons, runs into goal, and he's able to make it count. Footscray are able to score just ahead of the half-an-hour minute mark. And all of a sudden, we're locked at scores at 30 all. So the Blues 4-6-30 to Footscray, 5 straight 30.
Yeah, it was just great connection, wasn't it, from Lockie Smith to Harvey Gallagher coming through from the wing spot. You know, his ability to drive his legs and get out and get great purchase on his left foot. Then it was just, you say it was Phillips Parsons running into that.
Phipps Parsons?
Phipps Parsons. Yep. Bit of a mouthful, that one, isn't it?
He's a VFL boy. It's Sterling Phipps Parsons. It's a very good ammo's name, isn't it?
There you go, absolutely.
Plays his local footy down at Old Sabs.
But his ability to turn a foot, be in the right spot, then you weren't catching him once any small forward. When they're getting towards goal, they're as quick as anyone.
Kick 6 against Old Scotch last year in a VFL game. Sterling Phipps Parsons was at Carlton last year. He's at the Dogs this year. Scores a level. We've played almost 31 minutes. Cottrell lays the tackle on Kennedy. Ball up. So a 9-goal opening term from these two teams. It's been entertaining football. Smith, Kennedy, smothered off his boot. Well done by Byrne. Play on the call. Camporeale picks it up. Touched off his boot. And we are locked up at quarter time. Really entertaining game of football. It is Carlton 4-6-30. The Dogs 5 straight 30. Opening term going 31 minutes at Princes Park. This is your VFL match of the day on AB's in the low 20s. Make the most of these days. We're off to Point Gellibrand when it's going to be -5 and blowing a gale in the next few weeks, I'm sure. Second term VFL match of the day on ABC Sports. Scores a level between Carlton and Footscray as we get underway. Reedy, a lovely tap. Back to Lord. It was partly smothered off his boot. Coming out to meet it was Fogarty. Here's Treloar. Third touch for him as a handball, trying to get it through traffic to Smith. Kennedy off to Carmichael. He'll spread it towards the wing. Smith worked underneath it illegally by Warburton. Free kick to Connor Smith. Hits the short 45 to Treloar. Just forward to the wing. Blues well set. Treloar's kick just dribbles along the ground to Kennedy, so he has to reload. That's a better option inside 50. Pierces through traffic and finds Billy Crofts.
He's just tricking you. That first one, he wanted to double up.
Static.
We said that he hadn't had many, but I mean, there's one way to get him going, Clinchy.
Crofts to the pocket. Off hands, Dolan. He's going to be a free kick. It's going to come back. Interfered within the ruck contest, and it's going to come back to Jordan Croft. 45 out, about 35 from goal. Such a promising talent. 201 centimetres, turned 21 last Tuesday. 7 AFL games, and without Sam Darcy in the AFL side, some more opportunities for a guy like Jordan Croft.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the key for Jordan is his ability to run and work up the ground. He can go really high vertically as well. This is his key to being able to finish his work here.
Incredible runner. Could play as a tall wing. So athletic is he. He's kicked it straight, but just shaded to the right-hand side of the post for a minor score. Dogs lead by that margin. They're 5-1-31. Carlton 4-6-30. We played 90 seconds in the second term.
Boyd wastes no time, bring it back into play here. Cottrell looked to combine. It's a hand pass to Durston. Tackled by Dolan. Got a hand pass away to Louis Young at half-back. Sends the Blues up the wing. When Cooper Lord can take the mark. And he looks into the corridor. How adventurous is he willing to be? Decides to just send it long to the one-on-ones where flying from behind, Ashton Moyer tried to knock it down. Fogarty was front and centre like a good crummer, but Lockie Smith, the ruck, getting back for Footscray. Gathers and gives away the hand pass to Cleary. In two minds as he just chips it over the top, and in the end, Orgel takes the mark. Such a great servant for Footscray, the captain. As he has it in the back pocket. He's doing the grunt work, sends it up towards Croft. Little nudge from Dirksen, timed that well and takes the intercepting mark for the Blues. Veers out to the right, reloads and sends him inside 50. Where's the tall timber? Moyer from behind, can't take the mark. Walker's hand pass back to Valpede. Sidestep the tacklers. Hand pass to Treloar, and now a chance to try and clear through Jakes.
Goes towards Croft. He's got the height advantage over Warburton, who did enough. Darcy put his body on the line. Coming hard the other way was Dirksen. Warburton just inside the line. Off to Akers. Hoisted high inside 50. Setting himself as Gardner. He's the only man to go. And Ryan Gardner has a defensive 30. Carmichael to Cleary. The Dogs exit city side. Now to Gallagher. Could have a bounce, does Harvey Gaggs Gallagher. Spears a kick, it's a good one to Kennedy, who marks on the wing. Kennedy will go inside 50. Wonderful transition from the Dogs. Connor Smith over the top, end-to-end football. Croft open goal. Beautifully worked from Footscray. And they lead by 7 points. The Dogs 6-1-37, Carlton 4-6-30. We played 3 minutes second term on ABC Sport.
Yeah, and you can take that one right back to the Blake Acres entry inside forward 50. It was really just a dump kick after their ability to, win that back.
So involved there was Croft, and you can see obviously he then took off because he ended up on the end of all of this.
Yeah, he was in that first contest. I think it might have been Darcy who was knocked off the footy. But then he end to end, and that Harvey Gallagher kick on the left shoot, it broke the game up. Then everyone has their sagging back, but then they got the easy one out the back. And Croft, with that big work rate that we spoke about, able to finish the work.
He's featured in 7 AFL games, Jordan Croft, including 5 in 2026, having last played against the Cats in round 6. To show his athletic prowess there and give us our third lead change of the match. Back in the middle of the ground. Reedy this time wins down the tap against Lockie Smith, but Kennedy's onto it. Now past to Jakes to Treloar, who's got more active in this second quarter. Back to Jakes, looks up towards half forward with a long lead from Will Darcy. Just dropped it at the last moment. Louis Young will be happy to see it over the boundary line for a throw-in. Gemma Bastiardi on the boundary.
Yeah, just a note from the Footscray huddle at quarter time. They were very vocal in the fact that the turnovers that they conceded were a result of their own errors and not necessarily anything Carlton was doing. So if they could clean it up, they become even more dangerous.
Thanks, Jem. They've started the second term well. Crofts tried to step through traffic, couldn't do so. We've talked about the clearance game. The numbers are only 11-9 leads, but not all clearances are created equal. Yes. The Dogs are getting some really clean takeaways, which are looking damaging. And the ability to get through the front of stoppage then creates, puts a lot of pressure on the Carlton backs. That's where the difference is, I think, at the moment. Blues will want to tidy that up. Reedy is doing well in the ruck against Smith. There's a free kick for a hold. It's going the Dogs' way. It's coming back to Gallagher. So Harvey Gallagher, 70 metres from goal at left half forward. Low penetrating kick towards the square, almost to Will Darcy. G. Dirksen did well to engage and then get free at the right moment to mark. He timed that perfectly. Akers, they look to run it out. Charlson back to Akers, surrounded by Dogs. Pops a handball. Cottrell's going to be clean and was. Good run on from Charlson. Gets involved for a third time. Can Vickery get a contest in? Cleary went the fists and gets it to the line. The Blues choosing to run it out. We're seeing more and more of that. Even just in the last month, Lids, it's become, forward handball's become the new trend in footy. Yeah, it certainly has. The more you can keep the opposition guessing, the key then, though, is to be able to finish your work after. The Charlson kick was sort of just in between, wasn't it? He needed to put it more to his teammates' advantage. See some of the stats at the top of your screen. 9 points has been the biggest lead so far this afternoon. McGuan trying to get it to Jakes under pressure. Cooper Craig Peters gets the hand pass away. McGuan involved once more. Jakes up towards half forward, and this is good. As the kick is marked by Flips Parsons. The goal just ahead of quarter time. His eyes look long. Darcy wants it towards the pocket. He sends it in that direction. He's got a couple of metres as he tries to present in front of Louis Young. Can't take the mark. Boyd has nowhere to go as he's tackled in the umpire. The ball up at right half forward for the Blues. Dogs by 7 points. 6.5 minutes gone in the second term. VFL match of the day on ABC Sport. Smith just got a knuckle on it. Craig Peters looked to accelerate away, but ran straight into Lord. How's the umpire see this? Ball it up. 60 metres out from the Dogs' goal. Reedy and Smith. Reedy with the advantage in body strength over the youngster. Got his hands on this one. Well done by Kennedy to shark it. Got onto his left boot. Bounces it inside 50. Beats all comers. Darcy at the back. Can he control it in the pocket? Charlson wraps him up. Darcy tries to get the hands free. Hits the foot of Prout and trickles out for a throw-in. 35 out from the Bulldogs' goal. Right forward pocket from Carlton's training facility. They trail by 7 points. We've played 7.5 minutes in the second term. Thrown back in. Lockie Smith takes front position against Reedy and then engages, tries to palm it down to the front. Charleston gathers for the Blues. Hand pass almost chopped off by McGuan. Now a challenge for Chesser. Hand pass out toward Lord. Ricochets back to Chesser. Hand pass inside the defensive 50. Akers off a step, just has to bang it long. Cleary's underneath it and he juggles the mark. The Bulldogs with a chance to reload here.
trying to spread the defence, comes into the middle of the ground. Valpede marks for Footscray, curls onto his left, kick is just a little wide of Billings in the end, but the crummer is Darcy, kicks it straight up in the air to the top of the goal square. They still have the numbers, the Dogs. Dirksen outnumbered, brought it down. Cottrell has to hang on as he's locked up just 25 metres out from the Footscray goal.
Frustration all over the face of Will Darcy, getting underneath that one. Ball tapped down, past Billings. Walker was clean, but then lost the handle on the handball. McGuan coughed it up. Lord tried to crash through, coming the other way. Valpede did well. Got it to Treloar. He popped a handball. Billings went to the voice. Slapped it to Muratore. He was exited stage right. Boyd, Walker. Hard to get a clean touch in there at the moment. Byrne wraps up Jakes. And that's that high intensity on the inside stuff we were talking about, Lids.
Yeah, lots of numbers. You know, you need to get some separation there. Just being clean. A lot of balls going to people's feet.
Smith just hits it to space for Billings to run onto. He gathers inside the line, but it's all Blues. Walker fires a handball. Camporeale. Now Charlton. Again, the Blues look to link up by hand, but they make life a little difficult for themselves. Lord did really well. Beat a couple and then opens up play through the middle of the ground. Hogg can go to Moyer, who's got a couple of metres on Zach Walker. Working hard down the line is Fogarty. He'll head in that direction. Kick's going to hang a while. Can Lockie get on the end of it? He can. Takes a fingertipper right on 50. Lead from Reinhold. He's got O'Keefe at the top of the square. He'll go short. And we'll get a look at Jack Sammartino's range as he will line up from right on 50. 25-year-old from North Brunswick, the Preston Bull Ants, Northcote Park. Banyule, he plays his local footy at these days. 6 games for Box Hill in 2025. He's joined the Blues this year from 51. Doesn't catch all of it. It's going to drop for Reedy at the top of the square. Fist in there just in time. And then happily taking it to the line there is Maple. Tristan Maple. And it will be thrown in around 20 metres from the Carlton goal. They trail by 7 points. So we hit the 10-minute mark of the second term, Matt Glitch.
It's always the case, isn't it? We had 9 goals in the opening quarter, just the 1 so far in this second quarter. He should have the size advantage against Croft. As he takes it out of the ruck in the end, curls onto his left, kicks towards the goal square. Tough one for Walker. Gardner's there just to avoid the disaster and knock it through for a minor score. So a 6-point lead the way of the Bulldogs. 10 minutes gone, second quarter, the VFL match of the day on ABC Sport.
Jakes. Dangerous. Akers came crashing through, and Zach Walker down right on 50. And free kick for holding the football will go the way of the Dogs. Akers and Walker both up. That's the good news. And a free kick to the Dogs here. And it's going to Tristan Maple. High to the wing. Reedy looks around to see who's in the pack with him. Camporeale's handball's intended for Lord. Coming the other way, Craig Peters rolled the shoulders beautifully. Kennedy was quick to Valpede. He's got nowhere to go. Sammartino, Jack Sammartino, looking more like Bruno Sammartino as he wrestles his man to the ground.
It was a big collision, wasn't it? Blake Akers, I haven't seen much like Aaron Norton before. That was very similar.
Ben Camporeale off the right boot. Moyer with strength on Walker. And he's marked 20 metres out directly in front. Such a talented prospect, Ashton Moyer. The likes of he and Jack Ison can just bring a different dimension to this Carlton forward line.
Yeah, we sung his praises, didn't we, in the first quarter? That ability to do it aerially, but also on the ground. He was just too strong in that contest, wasn't he? Had the better position, but was more aggressive in the air than his opponent, Walker.
Generally a sublime finisher. From 25 out directly in front, he steps up and nails the shot on the left. Scores level again at Princes Park. Carlton 5-7-37. The Dogs 6-1-37. We've played 12 minutes in the second term.
It was a nice finish there from Ashton Moyer. Just go back to that Blake Akers collision. It was, he's just coming up as a wingman, and that had the legs taken out from under him. It's by no fault of the Footscray play. He was just caught in no man's land essentially. But you usually see blokes get really upended and land on their neck. Thankfully, both are okay. But Moyer, he's doing everything right at the moment in this game to give himself that chance to be brought up and play in the AFL.
Let's look at that collision. And for guys like Moyer and Ice, and we spoke about this when we talked to Carlton a couple of weeks ago, Brett, they sort of get 10 to 12 possessions, kick a couple of goals. The next step for them is to find a way to get those extra 6 or 7 easy touches and get up to 20 and 2.
Yeah, exactly right. If it's not 20 and 2, it's 15 but 4. So He's doing everything right at the moment.
Back in the middle of the ground, O'Keefe up against Croft, spills the way of the Blues. Cooper Lord breaks out of the centre square, kicks looking for O'Keefe. In fact, it's deep in attack. Reinhardt, Holt, who made the lead in the pocket, and off hands it goes out of play for a throw-in.
And is that just about leading patterns, Brett, or defensive work and work rate?
I think it's work rate mostly. He's a guy who's 189, 190. You've got to get on the move a little bit more because the guys at AFL level, they can move the same as you can.
Toss back into play. Scores level here in the second quarter. O'Keefe tries to just take it out of the ruck and knock it down to the front, where Kennedy kicks around his body close to the boundary line. Cottrell can't keep it in play. Tries to tap it back to the advantage of Sammartino, and it goes out of play for throw-in. The Blues chasing a 5th consecutive win as they try and charge their way up the ladder. Footscray there, 3 wins and 2 losses, but they've been one of those sides that have played just the 5 games, so they're a game behind. The teams that have played 7 so far in the VFL season is an abnormal start. Camporelli got it down from Hudson O'Keefe and then gave it back to the big ruck. A high up and under kick. Moyes outnumbered. Walker, Carmichael in the end. Taylor Byrne tries to keep it alive, slaps it towards the goal line. In the end, Gardner's happy to see it roll through, enough to give the Bulldogs the lead. Should I say Carlton the lead by that point as the Bulldogs take the kick in.
38-37, 14 minutes gone, second term. This is Tom McGuan. Played 3 games for Collingwood's VFL team last year, but the Pies passed on him as a father-son, so he's starting the next chapter of his career at the Dogs as he looks to get on an AFL list. Lewis Young takes the grab against Will Darcy. Young sets it up back inside 50. Reinhold's going to be caught behind a couple. And that's too easy for the Dogs' defence. Carmichael at the front takes the grab. There's a short option, Valpede. Decides he'll scurry away and launch it long. Floating kick towards the wing. O'Keefe across the front of the pack. McGuan did well. Fed it through to Fitzparsons. Over the top, Smith is going to be immediately tackled to the line by Jack Sammartino. Bit of push and shove afterwards.
That's that forward handball stuff that we do see, Jace, where sometimes it can come unstuck with good frontal pressure from the opposing team if they can read the cues quick enough.
Handball stats there on the screen for the second quarter. It's a shallow throw in, trying to use his creativity. Hudson O'Keefe, but you can't do that with the last touch rule that went out on the full regardless. So Footscray will take it back, and Adam Treloar, who had just the 2 disposals in the first quarter, has had more as he veers out to the left. Tries to take every metre on offer. Sends it long towards Will Darcy, but Jackson in from the side, takes the mark. Kick was wide of Hogg, though, and Carmichael streaming forward. The defender takes the mark within range.
Yeah, disappointing that when you do all the good work and win the ball back in a contested marking situation to then just give it back to the opposition. Got to give some credit, though, to Lockie Carmichael, though, as that high half-back really pressing forward to try and squash the ground. You don't get a lot of opportunities as a half-back to kick goals, so you've got to capitalise on them and take them when they come.
Up to 7 disposals, Adam Treloar, and Lockie Carmichael, who came from the Swans Academy, yet to play an AFL game. Can the defender strike here from just inside 50? Drifts to the right-hand side and a minor score. There's 2 sides in an arm wrestle this afternoon at Princes Park.
Good game, this one. VFL match of the day on ABC Sport. 38 apiece, 16.5 gone second term. Kick in from Boyd was good for Vickery. He's got a man to the outside, Dirksen, who marks at left half back. Go back inside defensive 50 to Boyd as they look to stretch this dog zone laterally. Now Boyd forced to hold up. He's now called to go. So just drop it into a hole on the wing. Vickery has it. Towards left half back. Dogs in good position here. So Vickery's just going to have to kick it to a contest. O'Keefe will come in the middle of this pack and try to force a spillage. He does. Lord, good driving in the legs from Akers. Gets himself to 52 metres. Sets sail for goal, but across the face, just good power running from Blake Akers. Can't finish, and that was what we were talking about a little earlier, Brett.
Yeah, it certainly was, Jason. I reckon he had a patch there in 22 or 23 when he was kicking those goals on the run, and that's ultimately what, won some games for Carlton.
It was in that run in the final series, wasn't it?
It was. But that, as a senior player, you've got to be knocking those through because you don't get many opportunities.
Kick the go-ahead goal in the semi-finals. Good afternoon to our Blues fans who are wondering what the future does hold as Josh Fraser takes over as their AFL coach tonight. Orgel marks at half-back. Thought about coming into the middle of the ground, but now will switch back across half-back. Footscray happy to very much control the play as Gardner marks in the back pocket. Work it to Carmichael, who marks it right half-back. Bit of space now for him to play on. Adam Treloar, he can just steps around Blake Acres and gets the hand pass away to McGuan. Cuts it on his left, kicking up towards Croft. It's over his head. Jordan Boyd just able to nudge him underneath to take the intercepting mark for the Blues. Over the top to Duffy. Martino, kick missed him, and now he has to try and become the tackler. Billings somehow got it clear to Croft, and now the hand pass to Smith. Normally a good user in front of goal. He steadies, and this is no exception. Took the chance and made the most of it. An important goal for Footscray. They're second in this second quarter. As they take back control, 7-2-44 to Carlton, 5-9-39.
Well, it's the second time, isn't it? They've done their good work and been able to take a contested mark off the opposition. Just not finishing their work coming outside the defensive 50. I think it was Duffy on that occasion who just overcooked it and brought the Footscray half forwards and midfielders back into the game. Young Connor Smith, that's not a bad finish on the run.
Well, I'll tell you, the two blokes you don't want to give a look to are Connor Smith and Luca Muratore. Between them, they've kicked 14 straight this year, seven straight each. And Connor Smith has kicked 18 goals, 3 in his VFL career. So give him a look and he'll punish it.
That's fantastic, isn't it, for a young forward, cutting his teeth in the VFL.
21-year-old, originally from Wandon. Plays his local footy at South Croydon these days. And the Dogs up by 5 points once again. Crofts out of the middle. Spears it inside 50. Dirksen had the height advantage on Fitzparsons, took the grab. So the Blues have had 14 shots to 9, but they trail by 5 points. His kick trickles out towards Camporeale. Good effort from Jakes to get across and make some contact and get it to the line.
How many marks is Dirksen up to? Because I reckon there'd have to be nearly 8 of them have been off the opposition.
It's going to be a free kick to the Dogs. Is it? No, Carlton. Last disposal rather, as Cooper Lord walks the boundary line. With the doctor, we'll keep an eye on that. Gemma Bastiani. He's heading maybe towards the rooms. Mark taken at 50 by Reinhold. Let's have a look at Will's range. Can he go the journey? He's going to set it up. Kick just floated over the back of McGuan's head. It's slapped away by Maple. Coming out to meet it and gathering is Smith, the goal scorer. Back to Maple. Now uses McGuan. The Dogs exit D50. The kick waited for Kennedy. Coming the other way, Prout lays some body on. Charleston's handball went behind Duffy. Samartina's got to go down and pick it up. He does. Duffy a fumble. Now he's under some pressure. Needs to release the football. Doesn't. Holds it in. He'll be gone. The Blues made a bit of a mess of that. Kennedy's kick not great. But making it good was Jakes. A nice crumb. Gets it to Treloar. He's got a runner on the inside. Gallagher can draw the man or go inside 50, but overkicked the option. Had 3, picked the third of 2 choices. And turns it over. The mark taken by Walker at defensive 50.
So he looks to try and counter-attack for the Blues. Out wide to Camporeale. A couple of sons of guns involved. And out wide, Fogarty takes the lunging mark. As Blake Acres boundary side. Can take the mark in front of the Blues bench, and Walker gets involved once more. It's another disposal. As he sends it up inside 50. Moyer with the rise and comes down with the footy. That's what Ashton Moyer can do. Give him a bit of space and room to take flights, and he'll come down with the footy.
Yeah, it wasn't that. Just a clean run and jump at the footy. He's shown that right through his underage years, all the way through. It's just about getting himself into those positions to get those opportunities, isn't it? So that was a fantastic mark. Fantastic mark.
Has 2 goals so far for the game. Can he capitalise on a strong mark here to return the Blues to the lead? Ashton Moyer trying to impress here at VFL level. Comes in, hangs it out to the right and just misses through for a minor score. It's a 4-point lead by Footscray. Let's go down to Gemma Bastiani on the boundary.
Yeah, Cooper Lord, as you mentioned, just went straight into the rooms. He was rubbing at his eye, so I'm just following it up, but it seems like a bit of an eye issue after he got hit in the face earlier.
Thanks, Jem. Kick from Maple is going to come back. It's marked by Lewis Young. Calls Acres on, but then handballs to the wrong side. He's a right footer, and he just released him onto his left side. Lewis Young steps around Croft, makes it good, gets it to 55 and finds Chesser. Walker moves to his left. Chesser will set it up for the big men to run at it. Reedy gets across. Nice gather from Reinhold onto his left boot. Throws his boot at it, makes really good contact. That is a fantastic finish. What a great goal from Will Reinhold, his first for Carlton. Beautiful finish from the 25-year-old. He's a cousin of the Danahers from up at Temora. About an hour north of Wagga. He's won best and fairest up there, a premiership, a league best and fairest last year. He's the co-coach at Temora. He was in the GWS Academy originally, Lids, maybe even at a time when you were there. He arrived as a 175-centimetre kid and grew to 194.
Oh, so
when they got him in, he was just a youngster, a little zippy rover. Exactly. Yeah. And so he grew, but as we saw there, he kept his speed and mobility. That was a great turn and goal.
It wasn't a great finish. He got great purchase on that ball, under a fair bit of pressure too, to be able to hook that across your body 30 metres out.
Points. We played 23.5 in the second term.
The Blues with 2 goals forward and 2-2 in this second quarter. Treloar breaks out of the middle, spins out of traffic, kicks over the head of Dolan. Rout can take the mark for the Blues as we nudge towards half-time. He's got Vickery in space. The kick is just wide of him, and despite the lunging efforts, that will be a lasso free kick going the way of Footscray. Adam Treloar coming up to possession number 12 for him, alongside Jakes, the leading possession getters for Footscray this afternoon. Gallagher tries to get around the player on the mark and send Footscray inside 50. Where are the Flyers? All good. Comes in from the side. And in the end, the kick is smothered by Phillips Parsons and goes across for a boundary throw in the left forward pocket. So scores were level at 30 apiece at quarter time. It's currently a 2-point lead the way of the Blues.
24.5 gone in the second term. VFL match of the day on ABC Sport. The Blues hunting 5 straight wins. The Dogs looking to avoid 3 straight losses. Smith the tap, Chesser quick hands, Cottrell was his target. He's walked over the line by Luke Kennedy. Luke Kennedy wearing the goggles today. 4 weeks out with a partially torn right retina. Chance to get back and get out there in the action. Gallagher. Was he tackled high by Vickery? Umpire was blindsided, didn't see it. Here is Kennedy. Swings it back across the body. Young in the middle of that pack. Good crumb. Front and centre. Handball out to Orgill, and he snaps a goal. Dogs back in front. The skipper's on the board. His second goal of the VFL season. Footscray 8-2-50. Carlton 6-10-46. Dogs by 4 points. We've hit 25.5 in the second.
Yeah, an important goal there, just leading into half-time. I thought Gallagher might have got himself a little free kick there with a higher tackle, but just managed to get it out. It was just a rush, kick forward to the top of the goal square. What they did get, though, was a good contest from their key forwards. And then they had good representation again at the front and centre. And it was Orgill who just was able to be there for his second goal of the year, knock it through. It's a really timely goal for the Dogs.
He's been the one who's tried to really set the tone, admitting while there's players with individual goals, when we come together on game day, everyone's trying to build into or buy into what we're trying to build here at Footscray. Back in front by 4 points. 6 lead changes so far in the match, in which Footscray find themselves back in front. Here's a chance for Blake Akers. Can't take the footy. Bounces into Treloar. Nowhere for him to go as the footy's locked to his chest. Hogg's in there trying to wrestle it clear as well. Thrown up, Reedy tries to protect the space, takes out of the ruck, using his frame, kicks inside forward 50. It's spoiled away by Byrne. Here's Walker spinning through traffic, tries to get a hand pass over the top. Comes the way of Fogarty, kicks towards the goal square, wrestle there taking place. Unable for Taylor Byrne, but it does come the way of Hudson O'Keefe, and the ruckman with a nice sidestep is able to jam it through, but it's touched. He thought it was a goal. He was celebrating with his teammates. Eventually he gets the notification. Hang on, hold the celebrations. It's a behind. 3-point lead, Footscray's away.
Valpede's kick in didn't do Carmichael any favours. He's confronted by Barter. Gives it back to Valpede. That one's not 15, and in fact the umpire said it was. Very generous. And Cleary marks just inside the line. Walker on the mark. Cleary tries to get around him. Walker sticks to the task, and eventually Cleary wriggles free. Kicks to the wing. Up goes Prout. Couldn't complete the grab. Darcy arrives. He's wrestled to the line. Ball goes out, and that's a handball, so that'll be last disposal free kick to the Blues. Going to Jack Sammartino. As we approach half-time, it's the Dogs by 3 points, 8-2-50 to 6-11-47. We've played 27 3/4 minutes as Sammartino kicks to 50. O'Keefe will be the target. Gardner at the front takes the grab. Such an experienced player, the veteran Ryan Gardner. 54 AFL games, 106 VFL games. So critical to have experience like that in your VFL lineup. Gardner's kick to the wing. Again, we see Boyd use the body on the bigger man. Sammartino's handball misses Akers, just needs to touch it and does. It'll be a... No, umpire saying last disposal. It looked like he got there and touched it before the line, but free kick Dogs.
So Will Darcy decides to give the hand pass over the top to Gallagher. Almost finds his way into a bind, but clever enough to find his way out of it. Kicks up towards half forward. Orgle's in the pack. Turkson flies through. Charleston trying to break through. He's tackled and brought down. Orgle, who is a tackling machine, ensures there's no path forward. And a ball up at left half forward for Footscray. This arm wrestle of the match continues. As Reedy once more uses his body against Lockie Smith. Kicker smothered those, spills to Dolan. Clever little step. Not 15 though to Will Darcy, so he has to get the hand pass away. The kick is that 15 to Connor Smith. This time it is given. Lunging forward, the small forward takes the mark. So he was able to nail one in the quarter from further out than this, but directly in front, 40 metres out from goal, a chance for the Dogs to extend their lead.
This will test the streak. Yeah. 7 straight, his kicks here.
I tell you what, I like these umpires measuring my time trials. A bit shorter on the distance at the moment, but that's okay. Just some good foot skills, like the Dolan decision, just mid kick to change there, but that wasn't paid.
21-year-old Connor Smith, who has 7 straight next to his name, looking to make it number 8. You betcha. Straight over the goal umpire's head. And Footscray with a couple of goals on the bounce as they look to take command here ahead of half-time.
Lids, you're in the recruiting business, the management side of things. When recruiters are looking for players, you need to have competitive advantages, don't you? You've got to have some elite ability, some sort of weapon at the next level that you're able to take on an opponent and beat them. And for a guy who can just kick goals from everywhere, that becomes a weapon, doesn't it?
It certainly does. You've got to be, as a small forward, you've got to be able to have a high work rate, I think, but you've got to have speed and you've got to have that ability to finish. And I think Connor Smith out there today has certainly shown us his ability to finish, as he has done all year. But then it's about that, can you create a contest when the ball's aerial, but then can you get after him when the ball's on the ground as well? So a lot that you need to do as a small forward.
Certainly got the piece of the puzzle, the finishing part. He's kicked 9 straight for the year, and the Dogs are out to a 9-point lead. Dragged down was Hogg. Sammartino just wrestled his way towards a kick. Gets it towards half forward. It's off the hands to Fogarty. Looks for an option. Tumbles it inside 50. Byrne works to the front on Cleary. Barter there as well for the Blues. Byrne still going. Can he keep it alive? Desperately tries. Ball doesn't quite trickle out, so Cleary can gather. And the Dogs can potentially exit here through Gallagher. We've played almost 31 minutes. Dogs out to a 9-point lead. 9-2 to 6-11. And there is the siren for half-time. Good quarter of football in the end for the Dogs. They kicked 4 goals, 2 to the wasteful Blues, kicking 2 goals, 5. So Carlton 17 shots to 11 Lids, but they trailed by 9 points.
Yeah, it was a good half of footy.
A swing player, but required in defence, given some of the changes that have taken place for the Blues. So scores were level at quarter time. Footscray by 9 points at half time. The players are back in position and we're ready to get the third quarter underway. Thanks for spending some of your Saturday afternoon with us, the VFL Match of the Day on ABC Sport. And we're underway. Reedy rises up and wings down the tack against Lockie Smith. It's Camporelli who gets the clearance. Out past to Cottrell for the Blues. Kicks inside 50. Good kick. Mark taken by Vickery. Just used his size in the end to pull down the mark, and strong overhead mark to line up for the first shot on goal inside 20 seconds.
Well, they've certainly been winning the clear or the hit outs, but haven't been able to dominate the clearances, have they? But in that case, they certainly were on the same page. Nice mark overhead, wasn't it, from Vickery?
From Sydney's VFL side, Cooper Vickery veers out to the left, hits it pretty sweetly, sends it through for the opening goal of the third quarter. Stop the clock inside 30 seconds. The dream start for the Blues, and the margin is immediately cut back to 3 points Footscray's way.
Yeah, nice finish there from Vickery. You know, it was a nice mark too. I mean, he's just bigger than his opponent, really. He stood and jumped and read the ball a little bit better, but I think the start there is crucial coming out of half-time and getting one on the board early when you're going up against a really good side.
Good awareness from the Blues too. This is his 21st VFL game and his first goal for Carlton, and they all got to him. So they're all aware. I don't know, how do they keep track of this stuff?
He must have yelled it out. We couldn't hear it. But he must have...
It's my first.
That's it.
Get around me. So a good start for the Blues. They claw one back, marching back to 3 points. Played just over a minute in the third term. Again, Reedy to Camporeale. That's 2 in a row that they've managed to work their way forward. Hogg this time gets the kick. Vickery again almost was held. We'll get another opportunity a bit further out this time. He's 55 from goal. Immediately knows that's outside his range, so he's looking for another option. The lead comes to the pocket. It's Moy, and they are elite hands. What a grab. Brett, just talk us through how difficult that mark actually is.
Well, that ball was coming in hot from Vickery. He put a bit on that, but then to be full extension and to catch that, it's just vice-like, weren't they, from Ashton Moyer? We spoke about him, and we spoke about him quite a bit today with his ability above his head, but coming out full stretch with pressure from behind from Walker. Just the ability to stick that, that's it. That's absolutely one of his strengths in his game.
Now for the finish and the lead for the Blues. He's kicked 2-2 for the day. On his right boot. Steps up as easy as you like and slots it. And the Blues have got 2 in 2 minutes to start the third term. Ashton Moyes kicked 3, 1 in each term. And he's one of the unusual players in the competition, Brett, that just has set shots from different feet. Yes. I don't know if you've noticed, he kicked a set shot from directly in front earlier on his left. He's had a couple of set shots now on his right foot. He's just so adept on both that he must just have positions on the ground where he feels comfortable. I'm going to kick this left, I'm going to kick this right. Not many players have got that ability.
No, you don't see. I think Nick Cox is probably the only other one that I've seen at Essendon who will kick on his non-preferred for set shots. But what I have worked out is whichever foot he's going to open up the best angle towards goal is the one he goes. So our commentary side here, he'll go right foot in when he's going towards the city end. Would you call it the city end?
Carlton end.
The Carlton
end.
Street end. Lygon Street end. And the other side for the other end.
3 goals 2 for Ashton Moyer this afternoon. Free kick going the way of the Bulldogs. They'll be happy to get their hands on the footy as Lockie Smith takes the free kick. Out past to Treloar around the back. Sends a high ball inside 50 where the Bulldogs forwards in the end. Darcy just has to spoil it to the front. Craig Peters comes racing after it, but Cottrell got there first. Turns it over. Gallagher firing shot on goal, and he misses to the left-hand side. The Blues with 2 straight goals to start proceedings after their inaccuracies in front of goal. The Bulldogs get their first look, and they can't hit it.
And a plethora of lead changes so far throughout the day. Not much in it. I think at one stage, Clinchy said 9 or 10 points was the biggest margin of the day.
Yeah, 9 points, 7 lead changes this afternoon.
Away comes Boyd. It's been an engaging contest. He goes long towards the wing. Off hands, here's Kennedy in best position. Can he get past Hogg? Opened up the opportunity for Craig Peters. And once again, we see great delivery from Cooper Craig Peters. Straight onto the chest of Will Darcy. He's hit a couple of bullets this afternoon inside 50.
Yeah, he certainly has. And that's just one being in the right position, front and centre of that contest, but then to be able to step through traffic and just give your forward every opportunity to mark it. There was nothing a defender could have done about that. It's all about the finish now for young Darcy.
He was known as Spindles around the club in honour of Jared Grant, a former Bulldog who was similarly skinny from back in your era.
Yes, I remember Jared Grant very well, microphone head. I did hear Brendan Lake call him that earlier today when he saw him run out of the race.
So it's now a 1-point lead to the Blues. 8-11 to 9-4. We've played 4 3/4 minutes as Boyd finds Lewis Young on the City side.
And they look to try and transition. Hogg takes the mark. And we'll get a 50-metre penalty as well. So this will take the Blues from between wing and half back all the way up to half forward, depending on how generous the umpire is. It's probably just beyond him as he tries to quickly get it into the pocket. Vickery's the target. One bite, a second, gets the hand pass away. Hemmed in, the kick is smothered. Here's Chesser spinning out of traffic. Needed support, gets the hand pass back to Hogg. Gallagher tries to corral him, back to Camporeale. Kicks the ball, looking for Cottrell. It was touched off the boot. He tries to dribble it forward towards the teeth of goal. Lockie Smith gathers, gets the hand pass away to Carmichael. Goes straight up in the air. And this will be 15 as Blake Acres takes the mark. Possession number 17 coming up for him, but this is going to take his best lids.
It is, certainly, but you can just see what happens with pressure. And those dump kicks out of your defensive 50, they very rarely work, do they? And this is the wingman's role, to be covering those exits. This is where usually, he was knocking these through those years, a couple of years ago when we were talking about.
Last game at AFL level, round 16 last year against the Brisbane Lions, as he veers out to the right and pulls the kick in the end towards the teeth of goal. No mark taken The Dogs are well set. Jakes gets the hand pass away. Carmichael a bit more composed this time, although McGuan has to deal with it. Gave it back to Carmichael. Stepped around Cottrell. Good composure. Has to just jag it back over his shoulder. Dirksen, awkward bouncing ball. It might work a bit for the Bulldogs, although Dolan can't gather. Martino brought down, and in the end, the tackle from Kennedy. The ball is locked up, and the umpire will ball it up close to the boundary line.
Reedy in the ruck. Cottrell throws a boot at it. Bouncing football, beat McGuan. Hogs little handballs intended for Walker. The look away over the shoulder towards Fogarty. He juggles it over the line, which is where we find Gemma Bastiani. And Gem, we also find Cooper Lord.
Yeah, unfortunately for Cooper Lord, he's been ruled out for the remainder of the game with concussion. So that's at least the 12-day protocol, depending on how he pulls up. So not great news for Cooper Lord or the Blues.
Thanks, Gem. Disappointing for Cooper Lord. Trying to work his way back into this AFL team. Fogarty pokes a kick inside 50. Gardner in best position. O'Keefe couldn't do enough to force it to ground. And Ryan Gardner with the defensive mark. It's the Blues by a point. 7 minutes gone, third term. VFL match of the day on ABC Sport. As Gardner goes short. Maple, the release at defensive 50. Stabs a kick just over the head of Charlton. Marked by Jakes. Runner to the inside is Carmichael. Nice step from Cleary. Gets him clear of Byrne. Velpeed off to Kennedy. Dogs have got some space to work in here and a man forward to the football. It's the finisher, Connor Smith. He's 60 from goal. This time he'll look to set it up. Big fly over the top came from Croft. Dirksen, Boyd, and he happily concedes to tie scores up again. Carlton 8-11-59. The Dogs 9-5-59. 8 minutes gone, third term, ABC Sport.
Jordan Boyd quickly brings the Blues back into play. They try and build something here as Chesser marks. Hand pass to Charleston. Tries to spot up the short pass to Hogg around the wing. In transition, hand pass to Camporelli. Runs his full measure. Up towards half forward. Moyer wants to fly. He got up early. In the end, couldn't come down with a footy and gave away the free kick. Do you get a licence after you take one? Are you willing to go for everything throughout the afternoon?
Well, yes and no. It's a tricky one to answer that. When you go a week early, it's probably a little bit too early, Clinchy.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Maple out of defence for Footscray. Sends it up the wing. Noah Young makes the spoil, and Jack Billings, who hasn't got involved in the match all that much this afternoon. A quiet afternoon for him. Of course, he's listed as the development coach as well for Footscray, so he's on double duties this afternoon. Scores level at 59 apiece.
Mike Akers on 17 touches. Dirksen's had plenty of it as well, as has Lewis Young. Carlton defenders busy. Jakes and Cleary leading the way for the Dogs. Campriali wants to look inside. Cooper Craig Peters cuts it off. Now Gallagher goes himself, uses the runners. He's got two to the outside. Billings will want his left side. Pops a handball over to Kennedy. He turns inside as well. Dragged off his kick. Sammartino got a hand in there. Play on the call. Chesser, Sammartino, and they exit through Hogg. Now to Cottrell. Runner to the outside, or he can go more direct. Honours the hit-up lead from O'Keefe. He got caught behind Gardner, had to go defensive. Through came Jakes. Gave it off to Crofts. A bit of Russian roulette, backwards and forwards at the moment. Which team can string it together? Kennedy has it. Forward of the wing for the Dogs. He drives towards the pocket. In slides Croft. Couldn't take it. In over the top comes Young. Says, how about it? It's flipped out. Umpire will have it 40 metres out from the Bulldog goal.
Bulldogs getting it inside forward 50, but not with the same authority that the Blues are. Ready to stay to the ruck. That's a good tackle from Croft. Ball spills clear. The umpire will ball it up just inside the 50 for Footscray. Plenty of players around this stoppage. It's thrown up. Reedy once more tries to use the body and then a little toe poke. Gallagher gathers, breaks the tackle. Hogg tries to corral him. Hand pass to Maple and now to Kennedy. He's got Carmichael, not 15 though, so has to just bang it high and long inside 50. Lockie Smith's gone forward, it clears him. Dirksen makes the spoil for the Blues. Dolan goes racing after it, not before it gets across the boundary line in the right forward pocket.
Scores level. Almost 11 minutes gone in this third term. Carlton a chance to jump right back up into the top four and defend their spot. Dogs are looking to leapfrog. Reedy and Smith continue. Craig Peters at ground level. Hogg just beat him by a step and then immediately tackled. Another ball up. 30 out from the Footscray goal. With a stalemate in the game right now. Tap went straight to Charlton. He throws it on his boot. Only as far as Jakes at 50. That's a good mark, reaching over the top of Fogarty. Does Lockie Jakes have the journey in him? He doesn't, so he's going to go short. Beautifully read Sammartino. Got a fist in there. Sported away from Crofts. Now maybe the Blues can counterpunch. Walker sweeping handball needs to sit for Byrne. Jakes has got a turn. Chaser. He looks up Taylor Byrne. Well done, Lockie Jakes. Got back, made the smother. Desperate lunging effort again. Kick doesn't find its target, Hogg, initially. It does now. Hogg gives it off. In comes Chesser. Chesser will go towards Vickery. Spoil came from Gallagher. Casting the role of a rover is O'Keefe, but he's got to find the football. Moyer does. He's tackled. Can't get two hands free. Sliding in. Ball spills out. Akers hacks it off the ground and puts the Blues back in front with a goal. It was hard yards. It was heavy sledding. It wasn't pretty. But it's 6 points nonetheless to Blake Akers, and the Blues lead by that margin. They're 9-11-65. Footscray 9-5-59, 12 minutes gone, third term.
No, you don't have to always draw pictures, do you, Jace? It was a bit of a slog, that one, and they made hard work of it, but it was good coverage now, I thought, from Gallagher to get back and support his defence, but the spoil went to the back of the contest, which is where the Carlton forwards were. They then again tried to rally the troops and be able to put it into a contest, but Blake Akers, again, playing his wing role, just followed in. And you're not kicking them through with drop punts, maybe. You sock them through off the ground. You do it in all different ways.
Let's head to Jem.
Yeah, just interesting. Cooper Lord with the doctor on the boundary. Obviously, has been ruled out with that concussion. Just having a chat to what we believe is some family members with the doctor explaining the concussion and the symptoms that he's having. So being really clear with the family. Really interesting.
Thanks, Jem. Always one of the tough ones for players and family as well as they watch what takes place. Back in the middle of the ground, O'Keefe wins down the tap. Treloar tries to get a half pass forward to Croft. Can't take the footy. Camporelli down low. Tries to get the Blues going once more. Cottrell's clean with his hands. Hand pass wide of Fogarty. Racing onto it. Byrne gathered. Kick towards the pocket. Moyer down low. Can't hang on to the bar. And Gardner picks it up for the Bulldogs. Hand pass away to Valpede. Kicks out towards half back. Billings takes the mark. Possession number 8 coming up for him. So a quiet afternoon for the damaging small forward who can work up the ground, but a couple of his other players in Smith and Muratori, who's been dangerous in front of goal, comes into the middle of the ground. Carmichael, and they try and stretch the Blues defence by switching it from one side to the other. It's Cleary, works it out towards half-back. Maple's involved. Just forced back behind his mark for the moment as the free options dry up, although he has Kennedy over the top. Sides against that. Kick, Ramshaw, good bite of it, and in the end has been paid the mark. Prout might claim that he had equally as much, and the umpire's given him the benefit of the doubt. The Bulldogs forward.
I thought he had first hands on that one. Well, that was his mark.
Prout was the man in front. Ramshaw had it, plucked it off the top, led Ramshaw. Kick inside 50. Darcy tries to work to the front. Dirksen found his boot, got it to Sammartino. Not sure that was the target, but it worked beautifully for the Blues. Kennedy swoops in, wins the football, gets it to Maple. Up and under kick. Edge of the square. Cottrell in one direction, Crofts the other. Off his fist. Comes to Sammartino, just bangs it on the boot to space. Dogs well set up behind the football. Mark taken by Gardner, just backward of the centre circle. Blues by one straight kick. 15 minutes gone, third term. Gardner out to right half forward. Young sets himself, can't take the grab. Darcy arrives late, it spills. Chesser gives it to Lewis Young. Pokes the kick. Warburton made life difficult for him. Crofts takes the spillage, but he gave it straight up to Reinhold. The fend, the give. Campriali, forward handball. Here's a chance for Warburton. Nice touch kick inside 50. Fogarty over the top to a man in better position. And Taylor Byrne, 35 out, pretty much directly in front.
It was good movement, wasn't it? That ability there for Campriali then to link up with Warburton. I feel like he changed his mind mid-kick. There's that little dart that I can just hit. Then as you're drawing out the Footscray defenders, they just easily have that one over the top, which gives them a better look at goal. Seen him already knock one through from about this range, about this angle as well earlier today. So let's see whether he's got another one in his bag.
Goal in the first term to this end. Taylor Byrne, 35 out. He'll be kicking himself there. It's been the story of the day for the Blues. 9-12-66. He misses left. Dogs 9-5-59. Blues by 7 points. Could be a bit more. 16 goal in third term.
That is their first blemish, though, of the third quarter. The Blues have kicked 3 straight before that. 3 behinds for Footscray at the other end. It's brought back into play by Maple. Runs every millimetre on offer in the right back pocket and tries to send it up the wing. It won't get to Darcy, and in the end it's off hands, and Louis Young spoils it out of play. Sun poking through on a Saturday afternoon, and plenty of the faithful have come out to Princes Park to take in the action this afternoon. Cody Walker, the son of a gun, Andrew Walker, for all the Carlton fans led to are watching him this afternoon. He's exploded in the third quarter against the Saints a few weeks ago, which was our ABC match of the day, but more across half forward than centre square today. So here he is on cue, trying to break out of a tackle. Can't get a clean disposal away, and Valpede for Footscray. His hand pass looking for Treloar. Hogg's in there. Treloar lays the tackle on Hogg, no prior opportunity.
Yeah, he's a classy player to watch. Huge work rate. He's obviously learned a hell of a lot from his dad. Geez, he can work hard and get some great positions.
Damien Trustloves spoke about the amount of time he spends down at the Blues. He's almost been there for 2 years and feels very much at home. Louis Young takes the intercepting mark. Carlton back in control on the wing. It's coming board to Prout. Got the overlap switch if he can get it to Dirksen. And now where to? Running hard into space is Hogg. He takes the mark and plays on immediately. They've stretched the Bulldogs here. The long kick towards the goal square. O'Keefe uses his body and takes the mark. Lockie Smith frustrated as he was just shoved illegally underneath. And Hudson O'Keefe, that's his forward craft that's improved. And he takes the mark pretty much at the edge of the goal square.
Yeah, it was a great switch, wasn't it, to get that ball on the inside of Dirksen, and then once they got it to Hogg, it was really him, with the whole 50 to be able to make his mind up. It just got to the advantage side of O'Keefe. Great body work, as we spoke about. Good forward craft from the big fella.
Hudson O'Keefe just has to deal with the angle here for 4 straight for the Blues. He sends it straight through, and Carlton all of a sudden have skipped clear. Out to the biggest lead of the match so far this afternoon. Carlton 10-12-72 to Footscray 9-5-59.
They've been really well drilled in this quarter, Carlton. They obviously got out to a fast start, kicking a couple of goals early, but they've been really strong across half-back and haven't given Footscray too much leg rope or ability to get their game style up and moving. Carlton have gone back at them, been able to switch that ball, control the ball a little bit more, but as we spoke about at half-time, can they make better use of their forward entries? And they've been able to do that in this quarter, which has given them far better looks and been able to cap off their work.
So now the challenge at the feet of the Dogs. Carlton have skipped away to a 13-point lead, as Clinchy mentioned, the biggest of the day so far. As we approach time on in the third term. No Cooper Lord for the Blues. He's out with concussion. So they're one man down. Good tap from O'Keefe. Hogg to try and run on. Well done by Smith. The opposition ruckman was first to get back and follow up Jakes. Tom McGuan. Maple. Carmichael all by hand in defensive 50. Now to Zach Walker. He puts it on his boot. He's going to turn it over here. Akers. Good strength. Umpire, well, called play on, and that just confused everyone. Blew the whistle. Was going to play advantage. Everyone stopped, but the kick comes in from Reinhold. Over the head of Moyer. It'll get to the back. Dangerous at the back. Lurking there was Vickery. Ball goes out. Left behind post for the Blues. They've taken control in the last 6 or 7 minutes. It's been an arm wrestle for much of the day, but right now Carlton with all the momentum. It's up to the Dogs to find a way to wrest that back.
Dogs haven't kicked a goal since just before half-time. As it's thrown back in, O'Keefe doing the ruck work, palms it down to the front. Walker on the move, can't take it. Billy Crofts with a chance to try and clear it for Footscray. Up towards the wing, not a good kick for Will Darcy. The mark is taken by Louis Young. As it's centre wing for Carlton. They lead by 13 points. As we've seen so many times throughout the afternoon, they just swing it to the loose player across half-back. It's Jordan Boyd on this occasion. Chips it over the top. Sammartino thought about the hand pass back to Boyd. Go wide out towards our grandstand side. Reinhold takes the mark. Started deep this afternoon. Hogg runs into space. He marks it right half forward. Footscray getting as many numbers back as they can, and the hand pass out wide to Playcake as the running man drives them inside 50. O'Keefe's there once more, almost reeled in the mark. At ground level, foot boots a ball, an incredible finish. Oh, you're not meant to be able to do that when you're that big. They're going to confirm as to whether it was touched on the way through, but having lost his balance, somehow jammed on the boot, and this would be an incredible finish. All clear is going to be given. The goal is scored, and even he's shaking his head, impressed at his own work. All of a sudden, Carlton have kicked the last 5 goals in the match, and that might be one of the best we've seen for the day.
It was nice, wasn't it, from the big man? It's what it shows is not just his ability to do the work at ground level, but he's shown it in the air as well. But his ability to push forward and test out the opposition ruck in Lockie Smith to then, see whether he wants to go with him and finish the work. But, geez, that's clever, isn't it, from the big fella? You don't see too many big ruckmen doing that, Clinch. It's more tap and handball.
Bodies left, right, and centre going everywhere.
Margin out to 19 points. 11 inside 50s to 6, and the Blues starting to make that count. 11 inside 50s to 6 for the term.
Yeah, and we spoke about it just before as well, that ability to lower your eyes and get better inside 50 and better bang for your buck. They've been able to do that in this quarter, which is certainly given them much better look at this game.
Can the Dogs get back into control in the middle of the ground? It's been all Carlton really in the third term. They'll get a chance here, an advantage to be paid. Craig Peters' entry inside 50. Important little hand in there from Young. Kept it away from Will Darcy. He's confronted, drew a crowd. Dolan needs some support. Pops a handball into a dangerous spot. It's still there for Smith. He's dragged down. Croft, tough angle, smothered off his boot. Taken away by Chesser. Feeds a handball, Camporeale. Pops one over the top. It needs to sit for Hogg. He pops one to Sammartino. This running game of the Blues is going. Byrne is in good position against Cleary, and he'll mark right on 50. Cleary will try to hold him up because he's got runners forward of the football, and that will be 50.
Had to be.
You could see what Luke was trying to do. He knew there were players streaming past, and he just about got away with it, Lids. I reckon that last little grab did him.
Yeah. What he needed to do is just slowly get up and make sure that Taylor Byrne was the last one to get up, but he was out of position. You absolutely could see what he's trying to do.
Byrne slots it through from the top of the goal square. The Blues have got 6 in a row, and suddenly the margin's ballooned out to 25 points. Carlton 12-12-84. Footscray 9-5-59. We played 23 minutes in the third term, and this has happened in a hurry.
It certainly has, but what you can see is that inability to finish your work for Carlton, for the Bulldogs down in their front half, how quickly you can go back the other way. Link up handball, there's a number of players involved, but Taylor Byrne working really hard as that high forward, got out the back. Poor old Cleary, he knew that what he was trying to do. He's trying to be professional about trying to hold him up, but you hold on too long, umpire gives it a clear, that's a clear example of a 50.
And all of a sudden they're starting to slam them on quickly, the Blues, as Jace may mention, the last 6 goals of the match. 6 goals won in this term to Footscray's 3 behinds after kicking 6 goals, 11 to half-time. Carlton have found their rhythm. Back in the middle of the ground, Lockie Smith wins down the tap. Here's Cooper Craig Peters. They need some experience and some guidance. He drives a kick out of the centre square, wide of Croft, running onto a Darcy across his body. He misses to the right-hand side. 4 behind so far for Footscray in this third quarter. The margin is 24 points.
Craig Peters out of the middle. Looks the most likely for the Dogs. He's been exciting, busting out the front of stoppage this afternoon. Charlson will take the kick in, trots away. Draws Darcy and pops the handball to the right back pocket for Young. Lewis Young's kick towards the wing. Didn't do Reinhold any favours. Orgill gives it off to Smith. Here's Craig Peters again. Tries to step Cottrell. Handball inside. The kick comes, but off the boot of Ramshaw. It's picked off by Walker. Cody Walker to the left back pocket for Akers. Looks up, scrubs a kick. Makes life very difficult for Boyd. He's wrapped up in the tackle. Umpire will call for the football. And just those little skill errors prevent you getting away out on the break suddenly. And Boyd's down, actually. He did cop one there in that contest. He's just a little bit stunned. Blues have already lost Cooper Lord with concussion. And Akers is staying next to his mate here as the medicos come out, and Boyd will have to come off for assessment here. Here's another look. Just copped it from Maple on the way through, and maybe even a knee on the way down, Lids. And
yeah,
well, Boyd will come off. Quite potentially. He'll be staying out there for the minute.
Given the trainer, they're all clear, but we'll wait and see. McGuan with a kick inside 50. Croft trying to use his body. Almost got rid of Louis Young. Trying to fabricate a hand pass, and in the end it's rushed through by Chesser for a minor score. 23 points is the Blues lead. They booted the last 6 goals of the match.
Boyd's got the football.
Must be okay.
We'll find out. I'm sure the medicos are going to be looking at the vision, as they do. He launches it long. Off the hands of the contest towards Prout, but a bad bounce, and eventually goes back to try and find it at defensive 50. Ball up.
It's a bit like a lolly or a band-aid for a kid, isn't it? Get a kick or a handball and you seem to
feel fine.
You feel okay.
Reedy. Just dribbles a kick through. It was actually pretty clever. It was intended for Barter and it found him. Didn't look great, but it did the job. Akers flips a handball to Hogg. Back to Akers, who just keeps on running. Pops it over the top now to Fogarty. Fogarty's got a man on the lead, unattended. Mark taken by Warburton, about 40 out. Tight angle, so he'll square it up and find one of the better set shots on the Carlton list, Matthew Cottrell. And he's got it about 40 metres out.
And they're just breaking down, aren't they, defensively at the moment? The Dogs, their inability to stop that handball game from Carlton. They've gone the length of the field there again. Really unselfish play again. I thought Fogarty probably could have kept going and broken the paint, but lowered his eyes to Warburton, but then Warburton squares it up again to Cottrell. As you said, he's a pretty sound set shot. We don't want to put the moz on him.
Well, we have, haven't we?
We have now.
He's gone. So he had a navicular and ankle problem last year, restricted him to 6 games, then had knee surgery in the pre-season this year, working his way back towards full fitness and never let us down, Lids.
That's it.
Sometimes it even sounds like we know what we're talking about. Broken clock's right twice a day, isn't it, Clinchy? That's what they say.
That's what they say.
Matt Cottrell kicks his first of the afternoon, and the Blues just keep on rolling. This has been an impressive third term. 13-12-90. Footscray 9-7-61. It's a 29-point margin at the 27-minute mark of the third term.
Yeah, and I think it's been off the back of their midfield. They've really got to work in this quarter. They're getting back to support their defence, and they've been able to link up and break open the game just with their run. Blake Akers has got on the end of a few. We saw then Cottrell obviously kicking the goal, but Camprielli as well getting involved. Their connection with Reedy in this quarter has been a lot better. Hit-outs and clearances have been a lot stronger. So they'll be pleased with that. Damien Truss will be really pleased with them being able to finish their work in front of goal as well.
Great day. Brett Delidio with you for the ABC VFL Match of the Day. Cottrell becomes the 9th individual goal kicker for the Blues this afternoon. Billy Croft tries to stop the stem of goals. He kicks inside 50. Jordan Croft might have given away a free kick for a hold. It's going to be the way of Louis Young. And the Blues defence have stood tall and had as many inside 50s as what Footscray has had at the other end. Sammartino has it in the back pocket. 29-point lead the Blues way, courtesy of 7 unanswered goals so far in this third quarter. High, long kick up towards the wing. Hudson O'Keefe worked out of it. Punch from the back by Gardner. Awkward bouncing ball. Camparelli goes racing after it. Hand pass in more to Fogarty. There might be time for more. Cottrell, the acting captain today, tries to break the tackle. Hand pass down low for Reedy. Just shovels a hand pass forward to Akers. They're always out. He chips it over the top. Fogarty will mark on 50. He's just held up momentarily as he tries to centre it, and Charleston's pushed forward and he marks inside 50.
There's free numbers everywhere at the moment, isn't there? Their ability to win the contest, but then shovel that handball forward, it's just opening the game right up. They're rolling the dice a little bit. That one got a little bit lucky. If they had been able to tackle Reedy, then they would have been in trouble back the other way. But when you're winning the footy in the contest and being able to spread forward, it does make makes life very difficult for the Footscray defenders.
Harry Charleston, the defender, from pretty much directly in front, looks to wind up and veers out to the right. Sets flight, looking for 8 goals in this third quarter. It's offline to the left. And a minor score. 30 points is the Blues lead as we head towards three-quarter time.
29, almost 29 and a half in the third term. Jakes' is kick in. Dogs have just been overwhelmed in this third term by Carlton's efficiency. Cleary gives it to Carmichael. Nicely read at the back by Muratore. Started well, faded out of the game. Pops a handball to Kennedy and sets him into trouble. Cottrell gets him, playing the call. Umpire said no. Illegal disposal. And Cottrell will have it off the back edge of the square. Goes laterally wide to Dirksen. He's been playing in defence this afternoon. The capacity to play at either end of the ground. The Blues keen to work on him as a swingman, and that is a fantastic third quarter of football from Carlton. They kicked 7 goals 2 to 5 behinds. They were 9 points down at half-time, and they'll turn for home with a 30-point lead. Carlton third.
But you've got to have your good follow-up, inside that 20 to 30-metre ring. And he's certainly done that today.
So the Blues, 1 quarter away from 5 straight wins. Look, and the Dogs ignite their season with a comeback. It's Carlton by 30 points as we start the final term at Princes Park. Billy Crofts gives it off to Kennedy, and he'll scoot away from the back of the stoppage. Just pulled the kick, saw something he liked. That something was Billings. Gave it off to Gallagher. Gallagher's touch kick is good to 50. And the mark is taken by Laird Ramshaw, just inside the arc. He just shot for handball. Didn't really do Billings any favours with that. Has to stop and prop and kick, and that's a good attacking defensive mark from Young. Just came out, took it strongly. No thought of spoiling, went for it with two hands and just clunked it. Charlton to Akers. And that'll be 50. And that has been one knock on Lewis Young's game at times, Brett. He's been low on confidence. He's gone the double-fisted spoil. But there, just went up and grabbed it.
And I love key defenders that do that. Between him and Dirksen today, they've been a brick wall.
Akers looks to switch it to the city side for Boyd. He had a runner to the outside. He's now called to go. He can use that man now. It is Dirksen. Wade Dirksen holds it up on the wing. Boyd then ran forward. And that's good effort from Billings. So Boyd was running forward to become the next link in the chain and receive it back. And Jack Billings just stuck to the task. Didn't concede it. And now you've got yourself a stoppage rather than an inside 50 for the Blues.
When you're a development coach, you've got to set the example, don't you? Everyone's looking to you.
Have a look at some of my highlight tape during the week. This is how you have to do it. 30-point lead the way of the Blues, courtesy of 7 goals in that third quarter. They very much took control of the clash. This time Smith wins down the body contact against Reedy, slaps it forward. Down low, tough one for the Blues, but there is a high contact late whistle, and it's going to go the way of Wade Dirksen. So getting down low, set 13 marks, 4 of them contested this afternoon. The Blues through Caparelli, trying to get something building here. Chesser against the boundary line, inside 50. Byrne just worked his way in front and held his body position. Takes a good one-handed mark.
That was strong, wasn't it, for a small player to be able to hold off a fellow first year in Lockie Carmichael. He just made it look a little bit too easy, if I'm being honest. I thought, probably just need to be a little bit more physical, Carmichael, to not allow Taylor Byrne to have full access to that ball. But good forward craft from the small player. Not just winning it at ground level, but you can win them contested mark style. That's not too bad either.
2 goals, 1 from his 9 disposals so far this afternoon. A chance to add to that. The third goal would make this pretty hard for Footscray as he starts his approach, strikes it pretty well, and gets the desired result. Carlton with a goal inside 3 minutes to start the final quarter. They put in the last 8 goals on the match, and they are very much in control here at Princes Park. Carlton 14-13-97 to Footscray 9-7-61.
Yeah, they've certainly gone away with this game, haven't they, in the second half? They've really been able to capitalise. It was something we spoke about at half-time. They've probably been in control of the game from the get-go, if we're being honest. Their ability to win it at the contest and get it inside forward 50, they just weren't finishing their work. So what they've been able to clean up is that ability to finish in the second half. And, the 36-point deficit now, it's going to take some reeling in.
Seen Taylor Byrne compared to Adam Schneider, that sort of player in the past, sort of classy and clean and clever. You can see bits of Adam Schneider in him.
Absolutely, you can. Very clever, little half forward who kicks goals, tough as well.
He's kicked 3 today as Cottrell wins the clearance for the Blues. And well done by Cleary in front of Vickery, takes the mark at defensive 50. Carlton in control, they lead it by 36 points, early stages, final term. Run from behind comes from Croft. Kick to the middle of the ground, but it's going to come back through Akers. Pops the handball out to Charlton. He's got Moyer forward of the football, 70 from goal. Left half forward. He goes short and finds Cody Walker. Walker wheels and goes. Runs to 52. Winds it up. Goes for it. Can he get it there? He can, but just the wrong side of the post for Cody Walker. Minor score for him. And the Blues by 37, 14-14-98. Footscray 9-7-61. 4 gone in the final term.
13 disposals this afternoon for the potential number 1 draft pick in Cody Walker. As Cleary brings Footscray back into play. Chips it to Dolan, who had to lean back knowing that Akers would be coming charging at him, but he was able to compose himself and take the mark. Comes inboard to Crofts. And Crofts has it across half-back. This is where it's been problematic for Footscray. They have to go back inside defensive 50 to try and open up some space. Cleary takes the short avenue. Now the run required as Carmichael dodging and weaving. Ran into a dead end. Taylor Byrne has got him. Nowhere to go. He wins a free kick for holding the ball. 3 goals for the small forward, the Adam Schneider lookalike. He gets a look at potentially another one here if he can kick almost 50.
Yeah, one thing I got taught from Damien Harper is never play on without a plan. And that's exactly what I think Lockie Carmichael may have done there. Once he looked up and saw no available option, it was like, oh, God, where do I go from here?
The switch was onto the outer side. That's what they were setting up for. He just didn't realise he was the next link in the chain and took off in the wrong direction.
Yeah, got caught in the tunnel, didn't he? Wanted to go straight down towards goal.
Taylor Byrne with a chance to boot back-to-back goals here. As he veers out to the left, needing every millimetre on offer from 50. It's not a bad effort, just clips the left goal post. He's certainly feeling it. He's had some opportunities. I've got that as 3 goals, 2 so far this afternoon. It's a 38-point lead the way of the Blues.
Gardner, the quick kick in. Goes to Gallagher. And as Jim mentioned at half-time, percentage going to be so important. This ladder's such a logjam. Blues will want to finish this strongly, but conversely, the Dogs, even if they don't win, need to reduce the margin and minimise the damage. Camporeale from 60 will pump it back inside for the Blues. Gardner in good position. Well done, O'Keefe, to at least get there and cause a spillage, which is diffused.
Oh, deliberate.
Oh, it's been called deliberate. Slapped through from too far out, said the umpire. Ryan Gardner pleads his case, but it's going to be a Carlton ball from right on the goal line. No one's there, so no one's on the mark. So Moyer could actually just step around. He's going to come out and step around onto his left boot. Stands against the behind post, but Croft literally stands on the goal line up against the goal post. Moyer steps around and hits the post. Thunders it into the woodwork. He's kicked 3-3 this afternoon, Ashton Moyer. And it is a 39-point lead. 14-16-100. 9-7-61. The Blues in control. 7 minutes gone. Final term. VFL match of the day on ABC Sport.
Valby brings Footscray back into play. Long kick towards half-back. Presenting Dirksen. Knocks it down to the front. Chesser can't take it. Dolan down low. Too slow in the end. Reinhold tackle dispossessed. Trelaw's hand pass inboard. Lockie Smith can't get it onto Gallagher. Prout hand pass forward. Dirksen. Look away hand pass from Walker over the top to Fogarty. Through traffic. Cottrell down low. Tough hand pass for Vickery. Knocks it on. Can Moyer make good here in the right forward pocket? What a superb finish. Arms outstretched as he sees it sail through the major opening, and a little high five with those in the crowd. Why wouldn't you? After you put through your 4th. Degree of difficulty, Brett Delidio, 10 out of 10. What a finish.
That was impressive, Clinchy. Running towards the boundary, right foot. We've spoken about how ambidextrous this kid is, his ability to finish from all angles, but they made it hard, didn't they? They missed a couple of handballs, a ball hitting the deck. Ashton Moyer just put the jets on a little bit, running full tilt towards the boundary, hooked it back over his shoulder and through the middle. We
saw him here a couple of weeks ago, Clinchy, from the opposite pocket, do it on the left. And that just shows his ability on both feet. Is he left-footed or right-footed? Well, he's genuinely both.
In the AFL, the crowd will be going nuts. In the VFL, you have to go over to the young fans who are at least encouraging you and acknowledge they're clapping your work.
Yeah, the crowd went up as one.
Who wants it? Who wants to give me one high five? Incredible finish there from Ashton Moyer. He's had a day today. His hands have been great. He's finished really well. Probably left a couple on the table for himself
kicked
as well.
4, could have kicked 5 or 6. The margin out to 45 points now, 8.5 gone. We speak of percentage. The Dogs need to dig in here. Starting to get away from them. Carlton 15-16, 106. Dogs 9-7-61. Carlton scoring performance. We mentioned at the start of the day, Lids, both these teams can score freely. Carlton holding teams to 60 points a game, and that's where the Dogs are at the moment.
Oh, Young and Dirksen down there, they've been super impressive. They've caught most of the aerial balls, but their other defenders have been solid as well.
Here's Walker. Just has this innate sixth sense of what's around him. Smith feeds it back. It was a good handball to Craig Peters, who's been good. Drills a kick inside 50. Darcy couldn't hang on, going back with the flight. Now wins it at ground level, does really well. Farms it out to Phipps Parsons, and the Dogs get one back. Well played, Will Darcy. Stayed in the contest. Phipps Parsons kicks his second, and the Dogs get a badly needed goal. Their first of the second half. They're 10-7-67. Carlton 15-16, 106. Margin back to 39 points. Their first goal of the second half. It comes at the 9-minute mark of the final term.
Yeah, they just haven't really had those big key targets like Carlton have at the other end to take a big mark or finish their work. But that was a clever little finish from Sterling. We don't see too many Sterlings anymore. Love that. That was a nice little finish. His second of the day. Well done to Will Darcy, just being able to finish, butter up after that forward entry.
And for Jordan Croft and for Will Darcy, undersized key forwards, so they have looked more dangerous when they can get opportunities for their small forwards. Their first goal since the 29-minute mark of the second quarter. Cody Walker tried to take on the tackler, penalised, holding the ball, so Footscray at least get a clearance here. Kennedy thought about the hand pass to Dolan, now sends a high ball inside 50. Well, Darcy caught behind another mark for Louis Young. So he's done that so well this afternoon. Chips it out to Blake Acres, letting possession get her on the ground. Possession number 26 coming up for him. Around the back to Dirksen. Kicks out to the wing, hogged the target. Craig Peters is happy to get it to the back and keeps it in play. Did it rather well in the end. Maple receives the hand pass and comes in more. Dolan has the mark. Thought about switching to the far side. In the end, that dries up and Connor Smith takes the mark. Nice little sidestep around Fogarty, sends it out wide. And here he is once more, leading up to take the mark in space. Hips passing. Sterling's trying to do his best to potentially kick a third, although he stepped off his mark here and played on. So he has to try and pull it in the pocket. That's great vision. Over the top to McGuan.
So Blake Acres in some trouble behind the play. Just went and saw the medico there. Came across to him. He's just got hands on haunches just outside the forward 50. You know what a rotten run he's had, particularly with his shoulders. So hopefully nothing too serious. He's waved the medicos away now, so hopefully he's okay.
Tom McGuan, the son of Mick, in his Footscray debut, sends it to the goal square. Won't quite have the journey, and Dirksen takes the mark. Another mark for him. He's had 10 intercept possessions this afternoon. Got him up to 14 marks for the match.
Dirksen and Young, as Brett Deletio's mentioned, have been dominant down back. Here is Lewis Young. It's a nice little touch kick out to Barter at right half back for the Blues. They lead by 39 points, almost 12-minute mark of the final term. For Carlton now, it's about game management. The Dogs have to start taking a lot of risks. Try to be expansive. Put some pressure on the Blues with a couple of quick goals. Valpede didn't quite hit the kick as he would have wanted, and Fogarty cuts it off centre wing City side. Lockie Fogarty been busy all afternoon. Pokes a kick down the line. It's good for Moyer. The run sweeping by is Walker, who now moves up to fifth gear. Not a good kick inside 50. It might work okay for Warburton. He's got to force the tackle on Walker. Kennedy ran into some traffic and will go no further. Ball up, 25 out from the Carlton goal. Quick restart from the umpire. It bounces away of Craig Peters. Another clearance for him, off balance as he kicked it. It'll pitch just inside the line. Unfortunately for the Bulldogs, it doesn't go out over the arc. It stays inside the arc, so it's a throw-in instead of a Carlton kick. Blake Acres looking for some clarity on that, but that's the ruling.
Zach Walker having a run in the rocks of the challenge for him up against Hudson O'Keefe here. See the size difference. As O'Keefe just dumps it over his shoulder, trying to get into the path of Barty. Doesn't have a lot of room to move with. Gets a hand pass away to Blake Acres. Searching kick looking for Cottrell. Crofts came flying from the back, crashed a few of his teammates who are down and slow to rise. Craig Peters tries to break out of the tackle. Hand pass away to McGuan. Just hurries the kick up towards the wing, and I think Dirksen gave away the free kick.
Luke Kennedy and Lockie Carmichael will be, gee, thanks very much, Jordan. You took both of us out. They're still down.
Flips Peters Flips Parsons has turned it over, trying to transition it quickly. George Boyd has said, hang on, we've got trainers out here.
It's Luke Kennedy from that Croft. And Jordan's just coming across to him now to go, sorry, buddy. Look, I don't know who did that to you, but...
Yeah, little tap on the back. He's like, you'll be right, mate. Chin up. Come on, let's get going.
He's taking the goggles off and coming to
Here
the
it
bench.
is. Whack.
Oh, yeah, big knee right to the left side. He landed pretty heavily there, Kennedy.
Yeah, he's going to come off for assessment. As we mentioned, his first game back in a month after that partially detached right retina. He's been wearing the goggles all day. So play will recommence now that he's out of the danger zone. Boyd has it centre wing City side. He'll sweep it back to defensive 50 and find Sammartino at centre half back. He's got a man working into space here. It's Matt Duffy, and the Irishman will drop the mark, so puts himself under some pressure. Now it's a 2-on-2, and the Blues might just get out of it with a high shot here. Did they know it's going to go the other way to the Dogs? It's going to Billings, was clipped high. So the Blues make a bit of a meal of that one. And Billings just drops it to 50 and finds Muratore. Let's have a look and see if Luca's got the leg to go the journey. He was thinking about giving it off, but decides not to. Now we'll square it. Dangerous one, almost for Acres. He's Cleary, gets it and goes from 48. Just winds up and says it's not that hard, and slams it through, does the defender. Well played, Luke Cleary. Shoves it on his boot, kicks just his second VFL goal in game number 58. And he can't understand what all the fuss is about. It's not that hard goal kicking.
No, it doesn't seem to be, does it, when you're knocking them through there on the run from 50. As I said, halfbacks don't get a lot of opportunities. Lockie Carmichael missed his earlier, but Luke Cleary coming down It was a risky kick from Muratore. I wasn't sure. It only just got there, but strong hands from Cleary, that ability to play on and knock that through. It's just a little bit of a reward for him in an otherwise day that the Dogs haven't been quite at their best today, but nice finish.
33 points, 15 minutes gone. Dogs can score in a hurry. Can they whack a couple of quick ones on the board and just get the Blues a touch jittery?
Carlton slammed on 7 goals to none in the third quarter. The last 2 goals the way of Footscray, so can they add to that? Reedy just takes out of the ruck against Zach Walker, gets the half pass away to Hogg, sends it out wide. Good hands once more as Warburton marks out to the left. He wants to poke it into the pocket because Hogg's kept running, and he takes the mark on a tight angle at about 40 metres out from goal.
Jesus, good one grab, Ollie Warburton.
We've seen that a couple of times today from Warburton, haven't we? It's good and unselfish again. Like, you'd think this late in the game, maybe you go back and try and put another goal to your own name, but Hogg running really hard forward, just popped it over to his advantage in the pocket.
A breakout season last season, Darcy Hogg featured in most games for the Blues. This will take his best from a tight angle. Some centre square experience as well, as it starts on line but drifts out to the right and won't quite have the journey as Gardner knocks it through for a minor score. Blues by 34 points, 17 minutes gone, final term. VFL match of the day on ABC Sport.
Darcy's dad, Matty, of course. Matty Hogg played for both these clubs, Footscray and Carlton. Started with the Dogs, finished with the Blues. And speaking of dads who played at Carlton, Cody Walker just slices through traffic and nails it. Kicks his first goal on a Carlton jumper, Cody Walker. A beautiful goal through some traffic. So light on his feet, so balanced on the run, Brett, and that was a classy finish.
Yeah, it certainly was. He's got class in spades, this kid. His ability to get through traffic, his awareness. The finish there we saw. Again, though, the Dogs haven't been able to exit their defensive 50 and going for a kick up the middle of the ground. 1v2 just about to Adam Treloar. Swooped on by young Cody Walker and really just split the defence. Way he went, knocked it through for his first goal in Carlton colours. Well, the first of many, I would have thought, over the journey.
So you work in the recruiting world, Lids, to get the exposure he's getting at VFL level. What does that do for, I guess, well, Carlton fans who are watching on?
Oh, I think it just enhances his stocks, doesn't it? But it's also, he's getting that experience already against full-grown men, which he's already had back at Echuca.
Yeah, played as a 16-year-old senior footy in Echuca. Camporelli to Reedy, another clearance for him as he shovels the hand pass forward. Vickery looks up to half forward, leading, presenting. Warburton can't hang on to it. Bard runs onto it, and his dribbling kick, tough one for the forwards, although it's still live as Moyer tries to knock it clear. Gathered away by Craig Peters, gets a kick out to Billy Crofts through the middle of the ground for Footscray. Hand pass almost chopped off by Reedy, bouncing off the tackle. Ramshaw gets the hand pass away to McGuan, who spots Ogle out of the side of his eyes, gets a kick inside 50, unselfishly centres it, and the mark is taken once more. Here's Flips Parsons, who's done his bit this afternoon. He's directly in front, 35 metres out.
Well, they tried their best, didn't they, to mess that up. The ability, though, to clean it up and then get it inside for an easy shot on goal.
Stanley Flips Parsons looking for his third. He comes in and sends it through. So Footscray with 3 goals straight in this final term. The Blues with 3 goals at 4, and the margin was 30 points at three-quarter time. It's the Blues leading by 34 as we tick past 19 minutes gone in the final term.
We asked the question, Jace, whether they could bang on a couple and get back into this game. They haven't been able to stop Carlton from doing the same thing, but it doesn't help when you've got big Liam Reedy just jumping up and taking the ball out of the ruck and having his way with the opposition midfielders, being able to step through traffic and give the forwards an opportunity. But well done there from Footscray, their ability to go end-to-end and then finish their work. Some unselfish play too from some of their half-forwards.
So the challenge for Liam Reedy is a dominant player at VFL level. Can he translate his game to AFL level? That's the question that needs to be answered over the next 12 months or so. Cottrell, kick ricochets to Orgill. Walker got a hand on it, was just enough. Cottrell decided he'd take on the tackler, just thundered in. Walker again with one of those little look-away handballs that seemed to be his specialty. Vickery drives it inside 50. O'Keefe engaged and allowed Croft to come over the top. Reinhold keeps it alive. Fogarty squares it up, and they've done that well today, the Blues. They've found the support option. And this time it's Ben Camporeale, who's worked hard all afternoon. He's coming up for his 18th touch. And this is the next part of his game. Brett, he's kicked 1-7 for the season, 4-11 in his VFL career. You've just got to take your chances when they present.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think it's been the knock on young Ben for most of his, watch him come through the juniors. Just that ability to finish your work. Gets a heap of it, works incredibly hard. Just got to finish your work.
These are the shots that'll give him some confidence if he can nail them. You can see there, not even close. Just gets it in for a minor score. He'll be working on that relentlessly at training, you would imagine, but it's just one of those things. The only way to fix it is to start kicking them.
Well, that's exactly right. You'd be surprised how much confidence you get from just seeing one go through.
Cleary plays on in the back pocket. They have found themselves in some binds. Footscray here as Orgel has to try and use his physical presence to lock the ball in. Did pretty well given the ball was bubbling around and forces a stoppage here in the forward 50 for the Blues. Reinhold slowly gets to his feet. Reedy comes racing down over the shoulder. Free kick going the Carlton Ruck's way. This will test him from about 45 metres out as to whether he can capitalise here on a set shot. So Mark Pitnet, sort of 29 years of age for the Blues. Obviously Tom De Koning now joining the Saints. So a bit like the sort of Tim English scenario at the Western Bulldogs. That fight for who would be the next player in if there is an injury with Mark Pitnet.
Yeah, well, I think he's just got to make the most of his opportunity next time he does go up. You're banging the door down here at VFL level. Obviously too good at this level, I think. But then it's when you get up there, you got to grab it and make it and play like he is here today. Up there for Carlton in the ones.
He's been the leading clearance player on the ground. Liam Reedy, can he finish with a goal here? Out to the right. Comes in and stabs at it in the end. It's across the face of goal and misses to the left-hand side. It's a 36-point lead. The Blues way. Time on in the final term.
Kick in from Tristan Maple. Looking at his options. Maple goes to the left back pocket and he marks, does Adam Treloar just in front of Ollie Barter. Treloar thought about the give on the way past. Played in a VFL premiership on this ground late last year. Adam Treloar, one of the great days of his footy life. August kicks a beauty, sizzles it to Ramshaw. Dolan had to be quick, but he spotted Cleary out of the corner of his eye. Cleary now comes away. Kicks towards half forward. Dog's got a couple of numbers ahead of the football. Got an awful bounce though. Young took on the tackler. Released the handball. Prout, Akers, gave Charlson some work to do, and he's hunted down by Phipps Parsons. Akers goes into support, wins the football back. Uncertain of the option, didn't want to bang it on the boot, so he went by hand to Hogg. Hogg now to Boyd, and they get the mark they were looking for that allows them to settle down at half-back. Prout, the switch now on. Expansive from the Blues. Chesser, run from behind comes from Dirksen. Time for a bounce. Gives it back to Chesser when the ball didn't come back to him. Chesser trots away. Kicks to 50 and the mark's taken by Walker. 55 from home. Wastes no time. Goes with a kick towards Hogg. And that's punched to the line by Maple for a throw-in. The Blues in control. They lead it by 36 points. 23.5 gone in the last term.
Cody Walker listed at 184 centimetres with his ability to lead up from half forward.
That's where he's probably going to play, isn't it? When he first gets into the senior team. You've got to have that extra string to your bow. It's a great way just to learn your craft down here at VFL level first.
So has that ability to turn either side and hit a target. Thrown in, Smith and Reedy. Reedy with 11 clearances for the game. He can't break away here from Lockie Smith. Umpire says, ball it up. He gave him a fair benefit of the doubt, trying to get a hand pass clear. Blues looking to try and finish here with another goal or two as Lockie Smith stumps it clear. Chesser gathers for the Blues. Hand pass to Warburton, back to Chesser. Around his body on the left. A high ball. Bulldogs' defence was there, but in the end, Cleary just spoils it straight down, and Walker can't break away. The umpire will ball it up. He's still about 35 metres out from the Blues' goal.
They lead it by 6 straight kicks. Here's Walker coming through again. Again, the look away, flip over the top handball to set up Reinhold. It smothered off his boot. Moyer threw a boot at it. Treloar under pressure from Reinhold. Valpede bends it across his body. It's going to come back. Blues are well set up through Sammartino, who's been solid this afternoon. He chips it inside 50. And here's another opportunity for Ben Camporeale to get some goal-kicking practice. Tough shot, this one. 48 out on a tight angle out right half forward. But these are the sort of ones, Brett, I guess there's no pressure on him. You don't expect him to kick it. Go back, kick it, and the confidence you can get from this can turn everything around.
Exactly right. You just be free and just try and get it somewhere close to those big sticks.
Runs to 48. Gets underneath it a little. Sets it up to the goal square. And Croft belts it to the line through for a minor score. Just on Cody Walker, important for the Blues, he can get that second string to his bow and become a genuine half-forward mid, because the thing that's hamstrung Carlton's list is they've got mids who can't play forward and forwards who can't play midfield. They need guys who can do both.
Do both, yeah. I think between him and Jagger Smith, who's there now at the moment, and whoever else they try and draft, that's exactly what they're looking for. High work rate, ability to finish.
Valpede straight down the middle to Orgill. They've got it forward to Zach Walker. The kick up inside 50. Over flips Parsons and it rolls towards the boundary line. Duffy trying to knock it out. Did that rather well in the end. Gets a hand pass to Louis Young. Can go all the way back to Jordan Boyd. And he's just shoved out by Will Darcy and across the boundary line for a throw-in. So for Footscray, having come off the bye last week, they now turn their attention to Casey next week, while the Blues, they have Coburg next week. So chance for Carlton to continue their climb at the moment. Thrown back in. Ready in front position. Walker trying to just move him out of the way. Not an easy task to do. Camporelli gets the hand pass away. Here's Warburton once more. Through traffic. Kicks a high ball into the middle of the ground. Cleary hasn't quite dealt with it yet. He does keep his feet though and gets the hand pass to Carmichael, spinning out of traffic. Hand pass to Dolan. Works it out to the wing, and that's where Billings can take the mark.
He's got Maple to the outside. Uses him now. Tristan Maple wants to accelerate past Chesser. Handball a little fierce. It's kept alive by Tom McGuan. Swings it to a dangerous spot. Camporelli at the front up against Walker. Walker tries to bust away. Can't do so. Won't slip past Reedy and Boyd. Ball up. 35 out from the Footscray goal. They trail by 37 points as we hit the 27-minute mark of the final term. Reedy and Smith. Well done, Craig Peters. Another clean extraction off to Orgill. Right foot snap will go right to the line. That's a beautiful finish. He's kicked another one. Couple of goals to Dan Orgill. He's got 2 for the day. And the Dogs get 1 back late. Margin to 31 points. 16-20, 116 Carlton. Footscray 13-7-85. 27 and a half gone final term. And Cooper Craig Peters just keeps on keeping on. And we talked about his work rate and his ability at this level. 21 touches, going at 86% with 13 contested touches today.
Yeah, he has. He's used the ball reasonably well as well. But that Orgill, that was a clever finish, wasn't it? That ability is to step around. It looked like he threw it right up nice and high, and the ball just thought I reckon it might have been Louis Young tracking it back towards the line. I think I'll just mark this. No, it just kept travelling. It's something to just grab onto at the end of this game. But ultimately, I think the Blues have just been too good, too strong right across the board today.
Bit of a deflated Footscray bench. They've kicked 4 straight in this final term, but Carlton's 3-7 as in the middle of the ground. Hand pass from Craig Peters, trying to get it to Lockie Smith. Can't get a clean hand pass away. Hogg for the Blues, out to Chesser. And look as he uses his speed to work. Takes a bounce and now a second. Runs to right half forward, draws the opponents. Hand pass out to Vickery, who looks up inside 50. Treloar got a fingertip to it and then gathers. Spins out of traffic, chips it to centre half back. And the mark is taken by Moratore. Gets the hand pass away through Carmichael. Now to McGuan. Dolan in the middle of the ground. Spots Orgill all in his mind between wing and half forward. He plays on, looks to drive it into the pocket. That's a great kick for Will Darcy. And marks in the right forward pocket for Footscray.
It's almost one of their best passages of play, wasn't it? Their ability to win it back at half back. Treloar getting back to support. And their ability then to transition it. A couple of little mishaps in between, but good finish.
Will Darcy from the right forward pocket comes in and he completes his job in front of goal. So they finished with the last 3 goals of the match. 5 straight in this final term, Footscray. Well, the Blues have been inaccurate this afternoon. 16 goals, 20, but the margin is back to 25 points and probably just flatters Footscray really in the end, doesn't it?
Oh, it certainly does. I mean, 16-20, you reverse that. It's a pretty comfortable win. They've done enough and held Footscray at bay for nearly the whole day. The Blues never really been challenged, especially after half-time. But I think it's ultimately just been that inaccuracy that's held, given Footscray that little sniff. They've been dominant right throughout. I think Carlton, especially in the second half.
We hit the 30-minute mark of the final term. The Blues by 25 points. They keep rolling in VFL season 2026. Positivity at Princes Park coming in their VFL team this year. Treloar's kick to 50. Pitts Parsons has worked hard. Here's Orgill again. Dan goes from 45, lines it up and kicks another. He's got 3. Margin back to 19. We spoke about 15 minutes ago. If they could have kicked a couple in a hurry, they could have got it jittery, but fortunately for the Blues, they managed to find a couple of answers, or this one could have tightened up.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's sort of, you take the foot off the pedal just for that little moment, and the side can go bang, bang, and knock a couple through. That was another clever finish, just breaking through 50. You always got to try and finish your work. They've done that pretty well today, Footscray, in their defence.
Yeah, 15-7.
Yeah, pretty good kicking, whereas Carlton have left a few on the table, but if they had a little bit more time when you called for it, Jace, that might have actually been a little bit, might have been a bit closer again.
So percentage playing such a part this year. Carlton have burnt through some in this last quarter.
Maybe just wiping some of that smile off Damien Truslove's face in the coach's box. Treloar gets a hand pass forward. All after it once more. Can they try and get another one here? Hogg trying to knock it out. Craig Peters onto it. Hogg's desperation. His tackle was over the shoulder, though. And Footscray will take it. Cooper Craig Peters veers out to the left, fires it inside 50. Louis Young dropped the mark, charging onto it. Warburton gets a hand pass forward. Here's Camporelli through the middle of the ground. Hand pass to Blake Acres. Now to Moyer, trying to cut through a tackle. Got it to Camporelli. Back to Acres. Now to Hogg. The hand pass game is on. Cottrell to try and finish on the run. Misses to the left-hand side. Make that 16 goals, 21.
And some special comments from the outer. It's one of the great things about the VFL. You can almost just get personal feedback as we go. 20 points is the margin. The Dogs fight's been impressive, but it's not going to be enough. The Blues make it 5 in a row in the VFL. For the first time since 2017, Carlton rolls the reigning premiers and stamps themselves as a team to watch in 2026. Carlton, 16-21, 117. Defeat Footscray, 15-7, 97. The final margin, an even 20 points.
It was an impressive.